Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Kalogi Crew podcast. Today, we're going to talk about is the West anti male? Is the West becoming a matriarchal society? Right? So, is the modern West still a patriarchy, or have we quietly shifted into a soft matriarchy society? We hear a lot about male privilege, but at the same time, men top the charts for homelessness, suicides, workplace deaths, incarceration, and losing custody in family courts. So, which is it? Are men privileged or are men punished? So we can look at family court bias. 70 80% of custody decisions favor mothers. Men often pay child support plus lose parental rights even when equally capable. Boys fall behind in girls in reading, writing, and graduation rates across the West. Women dominate universities to a 60-40 split of enrollment. Men receive harsher sentences than women for the same crimes. Men have higher victimization. We're victims of crime more often. Men are still expected to be providers, but criticized for being too masculine. Modern dating economics, men pay on dates, men expected to impress, men take financial risk. So, there's a lot of disparities, and I want to say, like, who has it better in the modern West? Is it men or is it women? So, if you're tuning in, please like and subscribe wherever you're watching, retweet it. Let's get some more people in here. We currently have 10 viewers, so we're off to a decent start. Who would like to share their opinions? I definitely want to get some contrarians in here too. Like, I tend to think that this whole male discrimination thing's a little bit overblown, but I want to hear from the other speakers. Jelani, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I'm in complete agreement that the West has become a matriarchy, or is at least becoming matriarchal. Um, um, Women indirectly affect pretty much all policies and legislations that that happen, in Western societies. Like I said, whether it be through directly, voting and advocating for it and having their right to advocate for it, or whether it be indirectly. Women influence their husbands more than people like to admit in Western society. As a matter of fact, women, for the most part, they run the households indirectly as well in Western society, because most husbands, just being honest, are uh, what's the best way to put this?
Subservient to
I,
the woman.
well, I don't want to call men simps or whatever, but I would just say that our decisions are more likely swayed when pussy's involved. I would just put it like that. And that's just Western society altogether, which is why women have so much power in Western society. A lot of people try to attribute this, to the black community because of the single mother statistic, but again, this is something that is prevalent throughout our entire, Western society, where men have given women um, these preferences and the differences, you know, to have these advantages in our society, and just by that default of men being somewhat chivalrous and compensating to women, we have by default turned this society pretty much into a matriarchy.
Yeah. Okay. White Cell, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Are men discriminated in society? Are women privileged? Go ahead.
I think men have stopped looking for, they've lost sight of the long term. So instead of looking for a woman who would be good mothers to their children, who would make good wives, they're more focused on the short term now, where they're just trying to get sex by any means. They're trying to achieve pleasure through physical contact by any means, which is weakened men, weakened men's resolve, weakened men's will. And as a result, they've pedestalized women and put them first in politics, in the spiritual order of life. And it's resulted in chaos, disorder, women being on SSRIs more than ever before, women's suicide being attempted more often. So I think men are now marginalized in a negative way. And it's from them going from focusing on the short term, I mean, from the long term to the short term.
Okay. TN. Go ahead, TN. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that men have it as bad as Jelani and Alaska say? If you're still there. If not,
What happened? What happened?
so what are your thoughts on the conversation? Are men discriminated against in modern society, or is it overblown?
I agree with the points that you guys were making. Like we see it in the judicial system, inequalities. Um, like many states, they're women states. When people get divorced, and as far as who's gonna get rights over the like full custody or whatever over the children, it usually goes to the woman, even if she's unfit. You have to really prove like she's more than unfit. And I don't think that should be a thing. I think it's pretty sexist for the children to automatically go to the woman, even if both parents are fit. Let me see. Yeah, you already said the judicial. We see that. Um, I don't think
Well,
we get to speak.
you can
Hmm?
touch on whatever. I just gave like a brief overview of like the typical talking points. I don't even necessarily believe with that was just like an introduction. So if you want to touch in and hone in on a certain point,
Yeah.
feel free.
So I believe 'cause I know they make up these terms now. They talk about gaslighting, narcissism. I don't know if I would go so far to say like a woman is a narcissist, but I will say like women as a whole, they definitely gaslight us. Every time we try to critique them, they attach some phobia to it. That phobia. It just doesn't make any sense. But when you try to turn it around on a male, like let's say body shame, and then he's just a fat male, he's just a lazy male, he's not a provider, he's not a real man. But you can't do that with a woman. So it's a lot of hypocrisy. So it's kind of weird. Think of it as though you're letting because you have a household, you have the mother, the father. The father is usually the breadwinner. So what he says usually goes. The mom can like whisper in his ear or cry and moan. He may do a little bit different. Ultimately, it's his decision. Imagine a child running your household. That's what it kind of looks like. Because if you cannot have an adult full accountable or like give them accountability, they can't face it, they reject it and just attach some phobia or gaslighting or just run from it. Are we listening to these women? It's almost as if they have too many rights. Yeah, but I don't know, kind of sounds misogynistic, but yeah, I'm looking at.
I'm just like doing a little walk, see the sights of the Dominican Republic. But Jelani, I think Josh is here. Josh, you're the maths guy, right? You do the mortgages.
No, no, no. I'm in
Oh,
freight tech.
you're the Puerto Rican. Okay, okay. There's another guy that was gonna come.
Puerto Rican is
Well,
this, yeah.
if you want to stream to X, Josh, would be appreciated. We can combine our audiences. If you want to come in, put your X username. Um, we'll get more people in here. So, Jelani, can you explain to Josh how to cross stream? We got like 30 people in here now. We'll get a bigger audience.
Yeah, so you click on the button that says share with your audience, and then you choose which account you want to log into to share with.
Okay, copy. I'll do that now.
It may
How's
it may kick
how's
you
it
out. You just come back in afterwards.
Yeah. And if you want to come in with your like your ex name or whatever, I just like put your ex, like how me and Jelani have it. How's the video quality? Is it coming through nice?
It's pretty solid. It looks like it's 1080p on my end.
Cool, cool. Well, yeah, you set that up, Josh, and then we'll go back to the conversation. So yeah, feel free to jump in, guys, wherever you want to fit. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go get some food. Oh, it's sunset. Guess what wants to talk that topic?
Was Josh speaking or he had to do something?
He's connecting his ex account.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Like I was
Guys,
saying,
if you just want to rant, go ahead.
yeah. So what I would say is that if men are discriminated in the West,
I'm
were
pondering
discriminated
the
against,
possible solutions to this.
it would be because of our own fault.
The solutions to women being too far liberated. I think men would have to come together as a collective. If we wanted to repeal the 19th Amendment, there would need to be some sort of cultural shift. It would require the large majority of men to be on top of this type of thing. Because men are the main, have the monopoly on violence and enforcement. So the worst case scenario is women revolt and pretty much just riot, but nothing bad would really happen because women aren't all that capable and they'd be easily dissuaded from continuing on with their type of tantrum. But how do we recruit the majority of men when the majority of men are spiritually weak and their discipline is low and they're trying to champion in every way every way for women in order to better increase their chances.
Hi.
Especially when it comes to a public opinion, if they seem like they're misogynist or that they're not pedestalizing women
Hi, guys.
by their own calculations, they're gonna not have as good a chance. So I don't know how. Maybe Joy has a good idea.
Joy,
How do we
stream to
get
your
men
ex
on the same
account.
boat in order to basically want to repeal the 19th Amendment and make women
But
subservient to men again?
Before you do that, stream to your ex account. Let's get more people in here.
I can't hear her. I gotta
I
drop
just
back down.
thought about
I
something
don't think she's
random
able
and
to
I
do that
felt like
against you.
sharing it.
Because that messed her up last time.
Wait, hold up. I just remembered something random and I feel like sharing it.
Joy, go
It's
on
super
camera.
random.
Go on
Bro,
camera,
no,
Joy.
I'm not going on camera on this laggy ass shit. No.
It's not laggy. Just go on camera.
No, I only go on camera on no, I'm not going on camera on this laggy ass shit.
It's fine.
It's not gonna look proper. It's like I'm not on the
It's
app
a roll.
that is.
It's.
I'm
You
not
don't need to
on
be
the
on an
app.
app. I'm on Safari.
I'm on Safari. I'm on
It will
Safari
screen
too.
perfectly. It will screen perfectly to your ex account.
Bruh, I'm tired, okay? I don't feel like going on
Yeah.
camera right now. And I don't feel like going on camera in general right now. Just get the fuck off.
We'll just stream
my
it.
bag.
Just connect it to that. We got 34 people in here. The more people that stream, the larger it gets. Simple math. You want to talk to 10 people? You want to talk to 30 people? You want to talk to 100 people?
I want to sleep.
It's the middle of the day, Joy.
I'm constantly sleeping. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta get out and do
I'm not
something.
gonna lie. If I ever fell into a coma, ever fell into a coma, right, and like I was already married to like the love of my life or something, I would want the guy to fuck me while I was in my coma
Whoa.
until I woke up.
I knew you were gonna
That's
say
not,
that. That's interesting
that's not
because
the conversation, Joy.
my
If you
first
could,
loyal girlfriend. That's so
yeah,
interesting
that's
you
not
say
the
that.
conversation.
No, like I would want the person to routinely fuck me, like
I mean,
until
well, here,
eventually
Joy,
one
here's the
day I'm out
thing.
of the
Joy,
coma.
well, hold on, Joy. So for one, we're streaming to Twitch, we're streaming to these other platforms. So we do want to keep the conversation tempered. Second, that's not if you do want to have that particular conversation, it would be disingenuous for you to have that conversation not showing your face. So yeah,
Bruh, I'm just talking about
so
how I
so let's
feel about
stick.
that
So let's
scenario.
just stick to the subject, until you're able to give the people an idea of what
Bruh,
a person like
I'm
you in
just
the
talking
comments look
about
like.
a scenario, like if that
Well, I mean,
scenario
well, that's
was to
fine, but let's stay
be,
on the subject, Joy.
like
Again, it's kind of
if I was
disingenuous.
married to the love of my life, right, and I
Well,
went into a coma,
that's fine,
I would
Joy.
want
That's
my
great.
husband to like routinely
That's
fuck me like
okay. That's
every
great.
like week
Joy, if you want to move
That's
in
great.
with me, I'll
until
take care of
like
you
I'm
until you
out
go
of
into
the
a coma.
until
Can
I
I'm
you
will
out of the
take
can
care of
you
coma,
you.
can you
right?
on the
Because I want
subject,
my,
Joy?
even though
Can
I'm
you
not
talk
on
about the
earth,
subject?
like even though I'm not
You know what?
conscious,
This
I
is
still want
wild, Joy.
to be
You
treated
know what?
well. I
You
want to
don't
get
do
my,
this in
I want to
spaces.
have people still like, I want to still
Jelani,
have my
so
nails be done.
the
Joy,
thing,
this
Joy,
is
my ex-girlfriend actually said that she said if she's asleep and I ever
I'm
want
so
to or
sorry.
like
It's okay. No, it's okay.
who is that, Joy? Is that your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Why?
if you
Why?
want to
Is that
move
your,
in with me, Joy, I'll let you go
But
in
is
there.
I'm
that your
That's
mother?
just
Joy,
leaving.
hold on, Melissa. Is that your mom?
yeah, she said yeah.
And your mom speaks what language?
I think it sounded Spanish.
She's
Spanish.
bilingual.
I'm saying, what languages do she speak?
She speaks
Or
English
does she speak?
and like she speaks English as well. Like,
English and what
oh
else?
yeah, and she speaks Nepali.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, Joy, to the title of the room. Um, do you think the West is becoming a matriarch?
What?
Can you speak to the title of the show?
But I need to focus on my life. I'm gonna like go like actually like live my life.
Okay. Well, Joy's going to focus on her
And that's
life.
the thing with women is that they need to go live their life. They're these spaces where philosophizing, politicking, um, are typically majority inhabited by men. It's been typically a male dominated space throughout history and time. Women don't necessarily contain the affinity to care for these type of things because men have usually had the expectation of providing and defending and having the monopoly on violence. So it just kind of goes to show the affinity that women have towards these type of conversations, and they are inherently by results more selfish, which is fine. But this is why we need to repeal the 19th Amendment, in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I don't see that happening
Because when
anytime
women,
soon
when you,
or ever.
oh, I can't hear you now that she dropped down. I gotta drop down and come back.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I don't. I pretty much wait till he gets back, but I don't think the 19th Amendment should be repealed. And even if I did believe it, it should. I don't believe it's something that would happen. Again, even more proof that we are at least becoming more of a matriarchal society. That would be so frowned upon. Um, that would be so frowned upon, that it would be like, oh man, it would set off a chain reaction pretty much around the world if the land of the free were the people to, try to take away a woman's right to vote. Even if, there's a sentiment that women voting has a negative effect. Um, the backlash from trying to take that right away from them would, far outweigh any consequence that we believe we're receiving because of, a woman's right to vote. So I don't think that's a logical um, conclusion at all, or even a logical request to consider something of that magnitude. It just wouldn't make sense at all. Oh, let's read the comments. It says the West barely treats men like humans and treat women like demigods. Well, I mean, Mystify 11. What I would say to that is, we men are the ones who made the laws that allowed that. So if the West, has such a harsh treatment on men, it's because we as the men set it up that way. Um, to, I guess, basically punish ourselves. But as I said earlier, that just goes to show the inherent chivalry of man itself.
Back in the day, like for example, the Aztecs used to sacrifice their babies, and even in these more pagan religions, I think pagan is the right word. They used to
Yeah.
sacrifice babies for like a better future. And nowadays, the type of equivalent is women thinking that if they abort their baby, they're going to have a better life. It's going to give them a better life. So we have like the equivalence of paganism and sacrificing children for benefit as a culture today that women do care about. When you ask a woman who she was going to vote for in the Trump versus Harris election, they typically said Harris, and 90% of the reasons were because they wanted the right to abort their children. And they also did a correlating study showing that women are 450% more impacted by groupthink, gender groupthink mentality. So because they hear other women typically championing the right to abortion, they will be more influenced by that 4.5 times more than the men would be. Men typically judge off their own personal objective observations to where there is a consistent average. Women tend to think more exclusively in group sort of gender identity politics. So I think women don't, when proven and understood by
I have a question. So, like, are y'all trying to say feminism shouldn't be a thing? Because I think feminism shouldn't be a thing because it doesn't include women of color, right? But I think womanism should.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he was talking. No, he's not talking about feminism. He's just talking about women, period, and restricting their right to vote and to participate in the political process. That's what he's talking about. Mystify 11 says your average man has not made these laws. Well, I mean, I would disagree with that, Mystify. Um, these. Okay, so a politician by definition is not the average person because again, they're politicians. So, by definition, they are anomalies and they stand out. But at the same time, that's what they're supposed to represent. And the people who voted for the politicians are just as much to blame for anything the politician does as the politician is himself. So while the average man, per se, didn't make the law, the average man did exercise his right to vote for the individuals that did go and make those laws. And they did not hold those politicians accountable for making those laws. They did not vote those politicians out. They did not put in new politicians who would reverse or repeal those laws. So, and trust me, I hate politicians more than anybody. But I've come to find out that the people who vote the politicians in bear just as much culpability for the decisions of the particular politician. Just as much, more so than the politician himself.
And so you guys don't fuck with feminism? Or like womanism? Sorry, not feminism. You guys don't fuck with womanism?
Well, I don't think it's a question of whether we fuck with it or not. Again, Alaska is of the thought to take away women's rights. I don't
Okay, because
believe
he's
I don't believe
dumb.
that's
He
something that
doesn't
we
have a
should do.
brain.
Yes, yes. So I don't believe that's something that we should do. Even if we wanted to do it, I do not believe that it's something that would even be allowed to happen. Because in our society, women are seen as the weaker sex. So by default, men in charge, through our
Why
inherent
would we
chivalry.
have our rights taken when we're already the weaker sex? Like, why would we want our rights taken?
Well, that's exactly the point I was making. Is that by women being seen as the weaker sex in our society, just through the inherent chivalry of men, we would put protections in place, to make sure that women are protected more than men. And I think that speaks to a man's inherent chivalry.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Mr. 511 says that's a good take, but it simply isn't true. Sorry, voting for someone is not equivalent to a politician making mandates that can't be voted against. Okay, I mean I can understand that nuance too.
Wait, how
Mr.
many
5.
people are watching the live?
I'm not sure. Davinsky, how many people do you have on your end? Davinsky. Davinsky's probably doing something.
He's probably taking a break or something.
Yeah, I have like 10 or 11 on my side. He probably has like 40 or 50 on his side. But yeah, I mean, politicians are responsible for the laws and shit they make. Again, I take no accountability away from them, but I just share that blame and I attribute that accountability also to the people who are voting for them. But from the standpoint of them being personally responsible for what they're actually voting for, yes, they are most definitely 100% responsible for that. But I would say, Mr. Fire, that the people who vote them in, collectively, if they felt that the laws that the politician was voting on were against their best interest, then they would be the ones to put new politicians in to try and fight that. Well, yeah, too much of anything is bad for you. Um, while I am all for women having rights, feminism in itself has resulted in a lot of bad societal mistakes, in my opinion. Like I said, too much. I can understand the advocacy, the advocacy for women's rights and for somewhat equal treatment, but to the extent that feminism has taken it today, I believe that is an extreme. But like with all things, with power, you give people a little bit and they'll take a lot. So women are not exempt from um, trying to or abusing or overusing the power in which was granted to them by men. Levinsky, what are you doing? Are you in the store or something?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Wrong time
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
Were you out shopping, buying some shit? Alaska, what about you? Are you still there, Alaska? Oh, I'm here carrying the show. I got a couple of videos I probably could play. All right, quick. So here's a video of some women giving their ideas of what the role of a man should be if we were in an actual, full-blown matriarchy.
If we lived in a matriarchal society that was run by women, what would the man's role become?
The hard workers, and we'd be the bitches at home.
Isn't that exactly what we have right now?
Yeah, you're right.
So why would a matriarchy be any better than a patriarchy if that's exactly what we have right now?
Okay, sorry, I contradicted your question. Too many tequila shots. I feel like the opposite would literally happen. Women would end up, bringing in all the bread, working all the time, and then it'd be the men that were at home taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning.
But do you think women want to do all those dangerous, dirty jobs that are typically done by men?
No, I can absolutely say they will not.
So then, wouldn't the man's role pretty much stay the same as doing all the hard labor jobs?
Honestly, yeah, and then it would just add fuel to the fire because it'd be, as a man, not only do they have to go, do all the working and stuff, they also have a wife that's at home not taking care of the children, not cooking, not cleaning. So then at that point, it's just like, why do you even have a wife?
If we lived in a
Yeah, that's pretty contradictory. But it's kind of amazing how they find these people. It's like the slowest people they find to interview and ask them about this type of stuff. Here's another video of what Andrew Tate had to say about it.
This is the Western world we've built. We've built a Western world where men are just tax slaves and women are the most important things on the planet who do whatever they want. They're always permanent victims / always perfectly right. And they're girl bosses and we're dumbasses and we just have to build the roads and build the buildings and die in ditches. And this is all a woman's world. It's matriarchy. So that's the world we live in. Let women do whatever they want. This is the Western world we've built.
Alaska, are you there? Are you back? Alaska's busy too. Okay. Let's see what other videos we got. I'm inclined to agree with Tate on that. I don't agree with Tate on a lot of stuff, but that particular part, I'm in complete agreement with him. The West, most definitely, in my opinion, is matriarchy. And for one, I believe it always kind of has been, like I said, just through the inherent laws that we make to protect women, and kind of always have in a certain sense. I would say that indirectly, our culture has always been, a matriarchal one. Well, at least Western culture. Let's see, here's a good video. Okay, yes, I don't have any, no one's talking in that video.
Actually,
So what, Dimitri?
I'm just gonna back you off and meet up again. I thought more people would join. The problem, next I couldn't come in and tell them the space was active. So next time we do that, if we go from the space to here, I have to tell you to check your DMs and then share it with the space, because once I start the StreamYards, I can't join back. We have,
Right. Well, yeah. That's probably what we should do is go ahead and start the live while the space is going. But I'm telling you, like,
well,
it's
that's
just
what
the
I did,
whole.
but I wasn't able to come back and tell people.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You were telling me to check my DMs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then. Yeah, because I hardly ever
Yeah,
check
like
my
if I do
email.
it again, I'll be like, okay, start a space, and then I'll disappear for like 5 minutes, set it up, and then I'll send you a message and just keep an eye on your messages. Then that way you can keep the space active, and then so
Right.
people to join across. We got 54 people in here, but yeah, I mean, I gotta get home. So I won't be back for about probably like 10 minutes. I don't know. You want to keep it running, or should we just
Yeah, I
call it
mean, yeah,
now and
no,
then
that's
try
what,
again?
yeah. No, let's
Okay,
most definitely
keep
keep
it
it
running.
running.
You can play a video or whatever.
Yeah,
It's a shame that
yeah,
you
most
can't
definitely
see
keep it
who's
running.
requesting the mic. So if you want to come up and grab a mic on the panel, we've got 54 people in here right now. I'm going to put the StreamYards link in the comment section. So feel free to click on that and come on up. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, so I'll just keep, playing some videos and shit. I think this is probably a good one here. Let me see.
And we're on a way to meet the Wasu people.
Okay, so this is
And we're on a way to
this is a video about the Masu people. It's a tribe in
the
China,
Burmese border.
and it's a matriarchal tribe. So this is just a small video about how they're living under a matriarchy.
The mountains in the southwest of China near the Burmese border, and we're on a way to meet the Masu people, who live in a remote place which is also known as the land where women rule. We're going to spend a week there to find out what life is like in one of the world's last matriarchies.
Matriarchy.
The 40,000 people strong Masu tribe live in the foothills of the Himalayas, practice Tibetan Buddhism, and are most famous for their unique family structure. Instead of giving the responsibility of family stability to men, whose tendency to go wherever they dig points can be unreliable, it's the women who are in charge of the house, and inheritance goes from mother to daughter. We're high up in the mountains, in the southwest of...
Oh, wow. So that was just a short. I would have to go and find the actual full video on it. That's wild. They said that the inheritance passes from mother to daughter. Let me find that entire.
We're high up in the mountains in the...
That's actually pretty interesting. Let me see. Tribe. Fancy. Yeah, now I got to find the full video now. I really want to hear about that particular place.
We're high up in the mountains in the southwest of China near the Burmese border, and we're on our way to meet the Masu people.
Masu. That's not showing anything. Let me put in Masu tribe. Okay, where's the video? Where's the full video? These are nothing but shorts. Oh wow, so where's the whole video at? That's why. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so I found the video again. This is probably about a 5-minute video. These people have a fully matriarchal society. It's a tribe in China, and we're just gonna listen to how they live for a second.
The Moso people have been living along the Lugu Lake in China's Yunnan province for centuries. According to the local government, their current population is about 50,000. And in their society, things are done a little differently.
摩梭人的话，以前是从那个西藏、蒙古那一带，就是沿袭一路沿袭到泸沽河这边，在这边定居。然后摩梭人的母系文化的话，就是摩梭人是属于一个大家庭，然后所有的姊姊妹妹啊，然后你上一辈、下一辈、3代、4代，他都是生活在一个地方，居住在一个地方了嘛。然后我们家里面的话，就是由我们的就是老祖母来当家，就这种，是女人为大了嘛，摩梭人家里面。
They're known as the Kingdom of Daughters. In the Moso culture, women are mostly responsible for supporting the family's needs as well as raising the kids.
没有，我们这代是没这种。走婚了，他们想来了嘛，来我们家住一两天；不想来了，他们自己家去了嘛，记住了。我们摩梭家嘛，摩梭妈妈家住嘛，妈妈来呀，舅舅，也就是爷爷奶奶，我们大伙过出来了嘛，有钱了就吃钱我们过了嘛，休息啊，其实这是可以是这种。哪个嘛去他们在海有些朋友他们要钱去啊，去客。我们摩梭家庭的话，就是女主内，男主。
So basically, what they're saying in the language is that the women pretty much do everything around the house and everything within the society. They just use the men to make children, and all the children are raised in the house with the women and the maternal uncles. So the maternal uncles act as the male figure for the most part in the lives of the children, while the men are just basically used for procreation. And taking care of things outside the house, like earning money and things like that.
外面找钱就是这种，女人的话就是平时下地干活这种就是女人来做。我们这个摩梭人跟中国其他民族的文化的话，我觉得最大的一点区别，可能就是女人当家做主这一点。
So it's basically just saying that the woman is the master of the family.
People are also known for their practice of walking marriage.
因为篝火晚会的礼话，就相当于说是摩梭人的一个，咋个说来，就是男女谈情说爱的一个地方了嘛。如果你在那边有你喜欢的人、心仪的人，然后你就会去磕他的手心啊，然后再进行一个爬花楼这样的一个过程，是这种。所以都是在晚上，就是所有人睡觉以后，然后你才可以去爬花楼。
So she was explaining a ritual they have called a walking marriage. And it's pretty much like a party. And if you see somebody you're interested in as a man, you walk up to them and you rub their hand, I guess. And then she said after that, you have to wait until very late at night to climb up the side of the house to get into that window.
This bridge, once connected two villages on opposite sides, used to be another location where lovers used to meet for walking marriages. Today, it's a popular tourist attraction. Researchers have said Moso women used to have over 30 partners in their lifetime, but those days are long gone.
对于所有来到泸沽湖里面游客，它也是一种，就是说一种误解。以前的话会被很多人吹说是泸沽湖里面走婚的话，就是你今天晚上喜欢哪边就可以走哪个，然后就是不负责任的那种。但是其实属于，对于摩梭人走婚的话，他只是没得结婚证才是。其实他也是跟汉之家一样，都是一对一的，他不存在说是一妻多夫呀，这种情况不会。
As a tour guide, Balu brings tourists to the village's bonfire party to introduce their culture. People can also participate in the event that takes place a few times a week.
这个对我们有好也有坏吧。像现在以前我们都是就是大家庭像四合院这种，一般都是有木质结构那种了嘛。现在更多就是修酒店啊，就这种，然后游客来的越来越多的话，就是会对于我们就是自然环境那些破坏是有点。然后对于文化的话，我觉得外面带给我们的东西可。
Look at the viral bubble letter name necklace I just got from.
Fucking YouTube ads. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. The last part, she was just basically saying how even tourists can come and participate in their walking marriage event. Again, where you just pretty much walk around, find someone you like, tap them, and then I guess see if they want you. That's wild. I guess a lot of passport bros probably end up over there.
Bella and Coke, they're also doing a buy one and get two.
That's pretty wild.
We don't live in a patriarchy in the West. We live in... Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I want to make a quick and simple video explaining my position on this idea once and for all, because while I thought more people understood this, apparently they don't. We do not live in a patriarchy in the West. We live in a globalized, corporate, capitalist society where money and shareholders are more important than any individual leaders. I repeat, we do not live in a patriarchy. Corporations control the world via laws like Citizens United that allow them to influence elections to maximize profits for the corporation. The people who have invested money in the corporation have almost zero power to influence what the corporation actually does. And literally anybody in the entire world can buy shares of any corporation and therefore be a part of it. This includes women, Islamists, and black people. Trans people too. The CEO who runs the whole thing doesn't even get a whole lot of opportunity to be a leader because the CEO can legally be sued by any shareholder for not doing everything they can to maximize profit. And no, not all of the CEOs in the world are white men by a long shot. And if you want to go down that road, I want you to first examine some Asian corporations because many of them are doing quite well. While it is true that once upon a time, white men and white people had extremely tangible legal rights that gave way to their being rulers both politically and economically in the West, which were almost always white men, these particular laws that acted as barriers against women and people of color maintaining positions of power have become almost entirely abolished, if not entirely abolished. There are still remnants of the former white male-dominated system in the way that there is much inherited wealth that has been passed down through generations amongst white families especially. Also, many white men still prefer to vote for, hire, or do business with other white men, and there still might be some carefully planned but non-obvious forms of systemic racism that permeate various societies in the Western world. Still, this is not a full-blown patriarchy the way feminists describe by any means, and that line of thinking is something we would be best to do away with. Furthermore, in many aspects of culture, an argument could definitely be made that there are several aspects of matriarchal control in Western civilizations. If you were to look into the power, scope, and already existing laws that feminism has implemented and continues to advocate for. For example, young men compose only around 40% of college enrollment in the West, and yet feminist advocacy groups still fight for affirmative action quotas for young women to get preferential admissions over men. Similarly, men face far stiffer sentences for the same crimes as women, and yet some feminists are lobbying to make these disparities even more vast and to have women serve even less time. Most importantly, the money going into feminist organizations is often government funded. So feminism, or what some might call a matriarchy, has been embedded into this tangible structural framework of our civilization, and there can be no denying that. Even though men still hold the majority of predominant positions of power and income, there are several ways in which men get the short end of the stick, which I talk about in some other videos, but I don't want to get into here. However, if you want to research things, I recommend the work of Christina Hoff Sommers, Karen Strong, and the documentary film The Red Pill by Cassie J, which is playing in select cities now. Speaking of Cassie J, she was recently mentioning on the Rubin Report that in her understanding, during the civil rights era, people were largely speaking about problems with the form of capitalism we live in the West. However, she says that second wave feminists shifted the focus to the almost supernatural, abstract force they now call patriarchy to distract from capitalism during the second wave, which was a good marketing strategy for the feminists. Obviously, it's a lot simpler, easier, and appeals to people's emotions on a much more visceral level to blame men for all the problems in the entire world than it is to have to tackle the evils of industrial capitalism or post-industrial corporatism. In my perception, I think it is no accident that every time a strong movement of individuals gets organized to begin speaking out against exploitive and malfunctioning economic systems like the one we live in now, it seems like identity politics comes in and divides everybody. In 2011, we had the Occupy movement, where perhaps millions of people across the world protested against corporation corruption and greed and the big banks that held that all together. The 99% of non-billionaire people started working together for a moment, but within a few years, everybody was fighting amongst their own friends about racist microaggressions, cultural appropriation, rape culture, patriarchy, and whatever the hell else they go on about. Do you think that was an accident? Maybe watch a few more of my videos because I go into more detail, but certainly leave me a comment about it and stay tuned because I upload almost every day.
Who is that, Jelani?
That was from a guy called Prince of Queens on YouTube.
Do you listen to him?
I don't. I just ran across it, searching over about the matriarchy. But that video is from 9 years ago. Almost sounds like he was talking about yesterday. But I mean, he brought up some great points. We are,
Well,
and I know and specifically, is a profit-driven society.
Wagwan. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, so let's see.
What are your thoughts on the topic, Didi? Well, is this Creole?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Creole. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the topic? Do we live in a matriarchy, or are we becoming a matriarchy?
So this thing sounds crazy, but I do believe that the world is turning more like matriarchal, but like it's a result of like the patriarchy and like misogyny though. Like, women haven't like always had what they currently have. And like it's it's a thirst for more.
Did it just go quiet?
This thing sounds horrible. Wait, do you guys hear
I got
this?
dropped down, come back up.
Well, we do hear you, but yeah, it is kind of static here a little bit, Didi. Or Creole, I mean. But yeah, I mean, we do hear you, but it is coming in kind of static.
Wait, how does it sound now?
Okay, yeah, that's much better. That's much better.
Yeah, but a while ago I was like hearing some weird shit. But you heard what I said, right?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. You can go ahead. Yeah.
But
Were you
yeah,
done?
that was it pretty much.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I would. I would agree with you. And exactly what I was saying earlier is that if we are in a matriarchal society, it is because the men have made it that way, and we've made it that way in part due to our inherent chivalry, due to our inherent need to protect what we feel is, the weaker sex. So, in trying to protect women and accommodate and compensate, for women, we have inherently turned our society into, a matriarch for the most part.
All right, what's
Yeah.
going on, boys?
What's up, Alan? Didi, are you
How you
still
doing,
there?
man?
Didi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm still there. But rightfully so. I mean, it's been like patriarchal for like so long. Like no shade. Like
Why do you think
I
that
got a, I
was?
got a question. I got a question for you.
for me.
So you've lived both lives pretty much, right? So from your own
Yeah.
perspective, who has it easier, men or women?
Um that yeah, but that's a weird question for me because I would feel like it was harder for me to live like as what I was assigned to at birth because it was just not me. I was like constantly depressed and I didn't know why. So like it's kind of a hard question to like answer.
What about regardless of your internal kind of, what about society, the way that you feel treated by society? Do you feel that there's any difference?
Um I mean, naturally, I feel like a trans woman would have it harder in society.
Not well. You know what? Let's just come from the standpoint because you are woman presenting. So I'm pretty sure most people assume that you are a biological woman when they see you and they treat you as such. Am I correct about that? Cleo?
I think they're gone.
Yeah, she probably got disconnected. But yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Adam. You can give your thoughts
Yeah,
on the
what's
topic.
up, man? How you doing, Jelani?
Good.
I don't know. I've been listening on the show for like a while. I just had it on the background. I guess I'm with a lot of the points you're making. I guess my what is a matriarchy? Is a matriarchy just does it just mean that more women are in power? Like when does a normal society like flip into a matriarch? Is it when 51% of like property is owned by women? When 51% of politics is women?
I
You
think
know?
Okay,
like
yes.
Like
a
what's the
matriarchy
threshold
has.
for a matriarchy?
I think that a matriarchy is not necessarily like representation of power, because Jewish society is matriarchal, but
So
most of
like
the
the
Jewish.
concept, right. Okay.
So it's more to do with like, I guess, who has the esteem in that group, like who basically sets the rules socially in terms of like the family structure, rather than like women overrepresented in certain industries. Like that's kind of how I look at the term, like matriarchal and patriarchal is not necessarily like who's in the positions of power. It's who the society's downstream from. So in Christian society, for the most part, God is above man, man is above woman, and woman is above child.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
okay. I get what you're saying.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hate getting calls in the middle of what I was saying.
Nah, I gotcha.
But yeah, naturally as a trans woman, it's going to be harder. For me being more passable now, I guess it's a lot easier because that's how I like wanted to live my life. But if for like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like subjective, and my response is going to be like biased because like I'm a woman. I still can't really answer fairly. But I feel like it would be easy. It's easier as a woman.
I completely disagree. I think that misandry, which is hatred of men, the same way that misogyny is a hatred of women. I think that is
Hmm.
still more prevalent in society. You can take certain
Ooh.
facets and say that, well, men and women charged for the same crime, men will get a harsher sentence. So there are aspects, conscription as well when it comes to war. But by and large, women are the weaker sex. They're at the whims of men. So, like, a good example of this was I was in Thailand. I was 27 at the time. It was my first like overseas trip as an adult, and I got to know these two girls from Europe. And I'm like, oh, you go for a beach walk at night. And they like looked at me in shock. And like that's something that I never thought of. Like, the idea that I could go for a walk along the beach and get raped. Like that's something that most men never think of. Yeah, we might be victims of certain other crimes, but women will also be seen as a softer target. So I think that just from that standpoint alone, women have it worse. And then when it comes to the stereotypes of women too, I mean, look at the whole Trump and Kamala fiasco. Kamala Harris was objectively more qualified to run. She worked in the judicial branch of the government for decades. Yet it was a DEI hire. She's unqualified. She's a woman. She's emotional. She slept her way to the top. Like these things don't
Yeah.
apply to men. Men, Trump was equally not even equally. Trump was a playboy, yet that same sexual stigmatization doesn't apply to men. So there's a lot of ways.
Damn.
I think that by and large, women have it worse.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh, can you guys hear me? Is my
Yeah, we
mic
can hear you.
flipping out? My bad. All right,
Yeah.
it does that sometimes. Let me know, please, if it starts doing like static. And yeah, just to
It, it,
add
it
on to
did
that.
start doing it, actually. It did start doing it.
Fuck, I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, but
Is it any better now?
it's minor though. It's not.
It's fine,
Okay,
bro.
all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, you know what? All right, cool. No, I mean just to add on to that, I guess I mean I'm young, so like I'm not gonna say that I know everything. Obviously, I'm not exactly wise, but like I just don't see a reality in which a matriarchy could like exist in America or really any westernized civilization. I don't think that there's any shot. Like, yeah, you can have like feminists complaining about things and like, oh, maybe you'll get like a radical feminist in office who makes some like dumb law that everyone loses their fucking minds about. But like, I really do not see any reality in which women just somehow flip the switch and start oppressing men. You know, like I think we've set up the system in a way where just kind of the best thing that's going to happen is more equality. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand like the fear of a matriarchal society. Like I don't get why it would be a thing that you are worried about. If you could explain a little bit more, Jelani, of like why this is a topic that matters, I'm kind of curious. Not in a disrespectful way. I'm seriously curious.
Right. No, that's fine. Just a conversation. So, I mean, personally, I don't have a, I guess, I have a real issue when it comes to that because, again, like I believe that indirectly, not directly, and not, on the surface, but from a from a subsurface and from an indirect standpoint, we have always been a matriarchal society. Again, inherently, just due
Wait,
to
is it
the fact of. So what did he?
Yeah.
Okay, she probably got a phone
your
call
mic
again.
was
But yeah, I was
messing
just,
up? Your mic was messing up.
I think there's an internet
okay,
thing going
sorry.
on. No, you're good.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I was just saying that indirectly, I feel that we've always kind of been there, from a back of the behind the curtain standpoint. So for the most part, everything that's presented, everything presents as a patriarchy because we see men in most of positions, we see men as most of politicians. We see men pretty much in all of these observable positions of power. But behind the scenes or behind the curtain, a lot of these men are making decisions based on women, and not just based on
Right.
women in general, but
All
they
right.
think
All
about
right.
their wives when they make these decisions. They think about their little girls when they make these decisions. And
So
so,
like, I mean, but like, are
just
these? Sorry,
no, go ahead.
but okay. And yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I guess from my standpoint, I'd say that the majority of these like these good old boys making decisions for their wives and like historically have been making decisions based on how they feel would best suit the woman. I mean, like for the majority of human history, people like actively thought that women were too dumb to vote. It's not like we were protecting them from the burden of knowledge, from the burden of having to be political. Like obviously, modern day
Right.
women say that that was a dumb thing. So like, yes, I guess that men were trying to protect women in like instances such as that, but they were protecting them by not asking them what they felt. They were just doing like, oh, we're protecting the women. We're doing a good job when women would actively complain about these things. Same with like women not being able to get like divorces. Like men thought that that would protect the household. You know, we're just protecting families, so we're going to keep it that way. It's good for women, I promise. But then the moment that women collectively said, "Hey, we're not a big fan of this," everyone folded. So like, were they really protecting women in the first place to the extent that I think you think they were?
Well, so like I believe there's levels to it. So of course you had your levels of we're protecting you based on what we feel you need protection from, devoid of what you feel you need protection from. But I was more speaking, I was more talking about the inherent protections of just being the weaker sex, and especially when we as men talk about how we're discriminated against in this society.
Mhm.
Um, that discrimination against men and that deference to women again comes from men who made those laws based on the fact that women were the weaker sex. As we talk about with the court systems, they give deference to the woman because they feel like the women are nurturers, so the women should have the child. So women are going to have the children, no matter what, most times, unless you can prove extremely beyond a reasonable doubt that she's an unfit mother. Those
Mhm.
are laws that we men made for that. So any discrimination that we as men are getting in the West is due to our own policies that men made, and those policies were made for the most part, again, which I feel is somewhat of an inherent chivalry to
Mhm.
protect women in categories where we feel like they should be protected without their consent, and in categories where we just know inherently that they have to be protected because of them being, the weaker sex. As Davinsky said, most men don't walk on the beach at night thinking that there's a possibility that they can be taken and raped.
Right.
No man thinks that. That's a
Yeah.
privilege that we have as men. And
Yeah.
so since we have that privilege as men, when we get in positions of power, we're going to make laws that help protect women, that help alleviate, those thoughts of them not having that freedom to enjoy themselves without being,
Well,
raped or
what about
assaulted.
what
Why do
about
you think
Trump?
that there's such a ooh
I
ooh?
was
What do
going to
you
say,
mean? What
like
about
Trump,
Trump?
we elected,
We get
people
an
like men
American?
into these we elected men to protect women in those positions, right? But then you elect someone like
Yeah.
Trump who talks about grabbing women by the pussy.
And it
So I I feel
No,
like
I
men.
actually have a lot to say on that.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off. No, sorry, man. If you keep going,
like
if you got.
it's not even only that. Like he's been like in court for like sexual assault. Like it's
It's
not
worse than
not
him
even.
being in the court. He paid out. He gave a person money who said that he raped her and then complained about it, and then now his supporters like know about that and they refuse to acknowledge it. It's rough. It's rough over here. Are you Didi, are you I know Davinsky, you're living in Dominican Republic now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, so are you guys all or Didi and Jelani, you guys Americans?
Yeah.
I'm not. No, I'm not American. I'm Saint
Ooh,
Lucian.
where are you from?
I'm Saint
Where'd you say?
Lucian.
Oh,
Saint
no
Lucian.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, damn. All right, cool. Do you
Where
guys?
you
I
from?
guess.
Wait, say that
Creole.
again.
No, I just asked him, where'd you say you were from?
Saint Lucia.
Mm.
I mean, that's a you. Come on now, that's okay. It's not the United States proper, but that's a U.S. territory. So.
No, it's not.
No, it's
That's a
not.
country. That's a
It's
UN recognized country in the Caribbean. What are you talking about?
The
yeah,
Virgin Islands.
it's not U.S. territory at all.
Oh, Saint Lucia isn't in the Virgin Islands with Saint Thomas and.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, my fault. See, I thought Saint Lucia was in the Virgin Islands with Saint Thomas and
Mm.
No,
the other. Okay.
it's a small like Creole island.
Oh, okay then.
It's
Okay,
down
yeah.
on
It's
the
Sorry.
really
coast of
pretty.
like
It's really
it's
pretty and
near
has a cool ass
it's
flag.
near Barbados.
Mm.
Oh, okay then.
Well, I guess.
Oh, okay. So
Do you
it's Canadian.
guys do American politics like? Does it like is it news for you guys? Like this is a serious question. Like is it like do
Okay,
you guys
so a
follow a
lot
lot
of
of
people,
American stuff?
so a lot of like I guess the normal public don't take American news into consideration, but
Mm.
in my point of view, you have to look out for it because whatever laws America puts, it affects everywhere, to be honest. Like everywhere is going to be influenced
Yeah.
Right.
by American laws. If it wasn't for America, gay marriage or like gay sex would not be legalized in other places, if we're being
Yeah.
honest.
That's
Um,
a thought.
yeah.
Davinsky, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago actually. About this like this concept of America just being this like okay, like I'm an American, young American. I've grown up very America centric. You know what I mean? Like I mean we still like as you know, I'll be honest, like as we are very we're real defensive about the stuff that we do. Whether or not like we agree with it or not, we don't really like taking input from other countries into account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's just
And
like foreigners know way more about it. Like in terms of especially people from the Anglosphere countries, like English speaking countries,
yeah,
American politics, American culture is dominant. So, you know,
it's
like
insane
what
to
Didi
me.
said, if you legalize gay marriage, then, you know, the rest
Yeah,
of the Anglosphere, the rest of the world to a lesser extent, is downstream from that. And the same with culture, with music, with fashion. Everything's
yeah.
downstream from America.
Do you guys like okay, like we have I mean whether or not you agree with the administration, we do have a fucking psychopath as a president. Whether or not you think that's like a good quality of a president to just like say anything all of the time and just be very callous towards other people. Like if you think that's like a good thing, that's fine, but like does it freak you guys out a little bit? Like seriously, like do you guys get like I mean obviously like I see like you know
Well,
news stories over in like Turkey when someone says something fucking crazy. Like do you guys get like Trump said this like notifications, especially with the dignitaries around he's doing in the Gulf? I don't understand any of that by the way. Like I'm not particularly thrilled that he's like, yep, we're gonna go bully South American countries again. Let's go have fun with that.
well, yeah. So you know, Alan, America
Yeah,
has been the the uh, uh, um, the dominating. Um, how do I put it? America has been the dominating societal leader well, I would say progressive leader. Um, when it comes to societal norms within different countries, and that goes, you know, all the way back to, you know, like into slavery, or I would say Western civilization for the most part, period. Because Western civilization was the first civilization to even give women, you know, any type of say, any type of power. You know, it came from Western civilization first.
mm,
And so that pretty much carried over, you know, when America became a country and became as dominant as it was. And that dominance, for the most part, came through our military. So because our military, you know, is just like being, you know, the toughest gang member in prison, or, you know, the biggest bully on the school park. Whoever has the power, you know, might is
yeah,
right. So whoever
yeah.
has the power makes the rules, and everybody else just kind of, you know, acquiesces to what power is doing.
Do you
And
think that
that's
this
pretty
like
much
push
the
from
position America has been in, you know, for at least over, you know, 150 years now, to
yeah,
where we lead in these categories, not only due to our sheer might and power of the military, but just also through our dominance in entertainment, our dominance in the political arenas. No other country has secured that dominance the way we do, and again, particularly in part through our military and our might.
Yeah. No, I actually recently, this is kind of off topic, but I think this is interesting. I wrote an essay about, I mean, like, obviously we grow up thinking like, oh, Russia, North Korea, China, they're the bad guys, right? We think that we're the good boys. They're the ones that are they're the authoritarians, and they're gonna steal us if, they're gonna take us away if we're not careful. We gotta be fighting. You know what I mean? Or at least we have an implicit bias against our like enemy countries. I wrote an essay about like America's kind of horrifying to everyone that isn't a direct ally of us. You know what I mean? Like especially like with some of our like peacekeeping efforts. Like I was taking like accounts and stuff and looking into like civilian feedback on Americans like coming in to save the day and how a lot of them are not happy when we do that, like ever. You know what I mean? Like about a
Yeah.
lot of people see us like having this savior complex, right? And the savior complex, like sometimes obviously works out pretty well. Like, I mean, World War II, we came in and we were very big help in stopping those bastards. That's awesome. Like, it's nice sometimes that we use our military might for those things. But then you look at things like Iraq and whatever, and then we look back at that and we go, yeah, all right, we could have handled that better. Who's going to say no to us? You know what I mean? And I guess that's, what kind of worries me, like, as a young person, seeing this, like, quote unquote conservatism, because conservatism in itself is not necessarily a conservation of old things. It's a conservation of things that new people are not a fan of, right? It's a
Yeah.
conservation of non-progressive ideas, right?
Right.
So like the most conservatives don't think that like segregation is a good thing, right? Because we moved past that. We all recognize like, all right, not cool, guys. Let's not do that again, right? But now they're focusing on other things such as like DEI and whatever trans rights, right? And I think that as a young person, that's kind of odd, and like especially with this like matriarchy, like feminism point, because yeah, feminism does get annoying. Like they do say dumb things a lot, and they protest in ways that are not useful, and they protest against things that are completely like asinine in long term. But like I think that there's a much larger pushback on these feminist ideas than there actually are people that like genuinely think like that radically. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
because
think there's more
feminism.
people. I think there's more people in America that are worried about radical feminists than there are radical feminists. Same with like
So,
Antifa. Same with like all of these things. You know what I'm saying?
right. So, like, there's a big difference between feminism as a political ideology and just
Yeah.
women's rights and women having
Yeah.
the right to
Yeah.
or at least having somewhat equal rights as men. Those are completely different things. And just like with anything in life, we have extremes to them. And so, now, like, I will say that the extreme of feminism that we, pretty much have, is due to the historical treatment, I would say, of women as a whole. But at the same time, the level of feminism that we have now is not justified due to the same, due to the same facts. The fact that the West was the first to give women power. The fact that the West has given so much deference to women. So while I can see the the natural creation, I would say, of feminism, it's fine, but the level to which feminism has reached now is not in proportion to the historical treatment in which they say they're fighting against, because again, that historical treatment, and especially in the last 50 or 60 years, has not been equal to the amount of, I would say, vitriol and just plain old idiocy that extreme feminists have today in
And
relation
yeah,
to
I do agree with you.
Wait, but
Do you
what I
think that it's a genuine threat though? I guess is my question. Maybe I'm a little confused on that. Like, I talk to a lot of like, anti-feminist people, and like a few of my friends are like super, anti-woke, anti-SJW, whatever. But like they see it as like some like existential threat on like men, that like one day men are gonna wake up and have no power, and like I don't find that realistic. Do you think that's like where this is heading?
So too much of anything is bad for you. And so,
Sure.
anything to an extreme can have elements that are very, 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 very detrimental. So, from the standpoint of preventing, extremes from taking root, I can see how it can be detrimental. But I think Didi wanted to say something to the other points.
Yeah, I feel like you're defining the way you're talking about feminism doesn't describe feminism. It kind of describes toxic feminism, because feminism it's not exactly a bad thing as you make it sound. I think what you're talking about is toxic feminism. Feminism is just the equal rights for both sexes. That's all it is. Anything above that would make it toxic feminism.
And I think that genuinely most like young women who would like say like they're for feminists are just for that idea. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand this like war on feminism or war on misogyny. Like it just seems like more culture war than it seems productive. You know what I mean? It's just odd. I just don't understand why everyone's so like freaking out about this stuff. It's like, yeah, women get jobs in higher positions of power now, yay. And then like sometimes 20 to 30-year-olds say stupid things. You know what I mean? I mean, until like I don't know. I can't say that I've seen any like radical feminist like politic anything that's affected my life in a negative way. I've seen it affect their lives in ways that they seem fit, you know what I mean? And that's fine. It's like, okay. Whether or not I agree with it is completely beside the point, you know what I mean? If a feminist wants to say kill all men, or they're like all men are bastards or whatever the fuck, it's like, alright. Like that's not feminism. I guess that's why I don't understand why this push against like anti-feminists, like, oh no, matriarchy societies are coming. Oh no.
It's like if you're really looking to the definition of like feminism, it would wait, do you hear that?
Yeah, let me mute mic for a moment.
I did.
Wait, is it normal now?
Yeah, I think it was Mike was just goofing.
If you're gonna say like
your mic. Okay, yeah, I think it's you.
Mike's going crazy, Davinsky.
Davinsky, your mic is going wild.
Shit, man. Anyway, what were you saying, Didi?
Yeah, but if you're saying kill all men while being a feminist, that's everything feminism does not stand for, though.
Exactly. Like I feel like
continue.
Oh no, sorry. I have an issue with doing that. Please, I'm really interested in what you have to say.
Oh, but yeah, it's just like it's the opposite of feminism. If we're being honest, like a real like feminist would want equal rights and would fight for the rights of others. Realistically, it's not just a woman's right thing. It's a rights thing. Period.
Exactly. Yeah, no, like that. I think that's what bothers me when they, I mean, like there's this one YouTube channel that I engage with quite a bit, who just, I mean, like he says he doesn't hate women, but all of his content is just like picking one stupid TikTok with 20 likes of just like a girl being like, all men are cheaters and you can't trust them. So you can make a 20-minute video about how like women are, feminism has ruined women. It's ruined Western women's society. And it's like those aren't the same things. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like any rational person would be for feminism if it didn't get turned into this term that encapsulates all women that like aren't a fan of men in power. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's why I'm confused with like this whole like matriarchy bad thing, when like I don't know. It's like, all right, someone's got to have it. Someone's got to have the power. Men, women, who gives a shit? We're gonna be fine. We don't have to worry about being raped on the beach, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like a woman could pass a thing saying, you know what I mean? I mean, like we pass abortion laws like they're fucking nothing. If women were in power and they started passing like, what's the word?
Men should be
Goddamn. What was that?
Masturbation laws.
If a law it was passed where men should be castrated.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone would lose their minds. Obviously, that's because
It,
I don't think that's a good thing.
it's,
So like
it's,
I feel like we should be fighting against the extremes and not just the concept of, oh
it's,
no, women are complaining about men doing bad things. Oh my
it's
God,
very
they're coming for us. It's like
it's
they're
very
coming for what?
simple. I think it's very simple. Um, I think that there's a percentage of men that have been priced out of the dating market with the advent
Mm.
of feminism. And so
Mm.
previously, the only way that women had social mobility was through marriage. You know, they couldn't vote, they couldn't work for a long period of time, they could only go into certain professions. The only way that they could survive was the bottom 10% of women marrying the bottom 10% of men. So men were previously guaranteed a partner, right? And now a woman can work at McDonald's and she can afford to have Netflix and pay her rent for the most part. So previously, that low status man would have been guaranteed a wife, and that's why I think that there's a real incel movement. And because if you talk to a lot of these incels, they don't have much going on, and I think that their hatred for
No, they literally have
feminism,
nothing going on.
yeah, their hatred for feminism is more a cope for them not being able to get a partner because of
Yeah,
feminism. They would have been
yeah,
previously guaranteed.
that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah,
man. Well, I
yeah. And
appreciate it.
like
I might be back later. this is a good conversation. I appreciate hearing what you guys have to say. This is like my favorite like random show to just tune into. So thanks. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, I love when you join too, Alan. Peace
Yes,
out.
sir. Have a good one.
We appreciate that,
Nice to meet
Alan.
you,
Thank you
Dee
for
and
tuning
Jelani.
in, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
nice now. But
Love
yeah,
to you,
that
man.
conversation, like it really reminded me of like Testizo because like he's just the first person who just hopped in my head when like we're discussing something like this.
Yep.
It's like he like just found these group of incels and like now he thinks that most men are incel and the incels are the majority and it's hard for most men to get women if they're not considered chads, right? So he thinks the world is like just ran by women and women centered. Like it's kind of, I don't know, crazy to me.
Yeah, like that's an
There's another type
interesting.
of there's one more archetype of man that hates feminism, and that's men that feel they've been screwed in divorce or in custody. Like Blend, I think, fits into that category of men that hate feminism. They feel that they were done wrongly by the courts, and they might have been, but then that's the reason they hate feminism.
But see, here's the thing, Davinsky, like people like that who use, societal events that really no one person has control over to change their perspective and to alter them emotionally. I find that very, very, very weak. And I akin it to people who are white racists who blame black people for turning them racist. You know how you hear they'll say, "Well, no, I wasn't racist, but black people made me racist." From being mean to me. I find it as a cop out, and I find it weak. And I would put the same. I would attribute that same logic, to here, because I've had issues in the courts with women. Been falsely accused, lied on, all type of things. It wasn't favorable in my way when it came to custody and child support and things of that nature. But none of those things that the system did to me ever made me have animosity towards women as a whole, because it's not the woman's fault that men made these laws that made it so easy for women to be able to take advantage of the system. So I really feel that there's something that's deeply embedded and rooted into these people that make them hate things or hate people that collectively have nothing to do with your individual situation. Like, there's no, there, from what I can deduce, or from what I, think, there's no situation that the system or society could put me in that would make me hate one of all group or have a problem with all of a group, especially if that group has not historically been in a position of power, or if that group has not, made laws or made policies, specifically themselves that directly affect me. So I just find it as a cop out, for people who use those type of excuses to, hate all women. I truly believe that's kind of weak, because anybody could use that
Yeah.
excuse to hate anybody if you're going to use your
Mm-hmm.
individual subjective experiences, as a barometer.
Give me 1 second. I gotta brush my teeth.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, man, because and then, but like that's a great point you bring up though about oh wait, before I say that, also if you notice, there's a phenotype as well when it comes to men who like just hate women. Period. You will come to find that not only are they victims of feminism erasing a whole block of men, not being available on the dating market anymore, but that particular block of men, I believe, do have a certain phenotype. They look a certain way, because I understand there are anecdotal circumstances and exceptions, but for the most part, when you look at men who just hate women and who deride women all the time, they're not very easy on the eyes. I would say that much. You would be hard pressed to find men who are considered handsome or good looking or having a lot of luck with the ladies. You'd be hard pressed to find a dude like that who has such a level of hate or disdain for women as a whole.
Yeah, but even so, like the incel type of men, because I'm guessing that's the men you're talking about. That's the men I've interacted with, right? These incels, they have these they look this way, but even when you try to talk to them and like explain to them like everything is, it's not just about like looks. There's other qualities that you need to get a woman. It's not strictly just look, right? There's a woman out for everybody, I believe, right? Even then they would come up with some type of excuse. They cannot see nothing past appearance, and I feel like that's kind of their problem. Like it's kind of a delusion in a sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was raised that pimping has nothing to do with looks. Well, the actual phrase is pimping ain't got shit to do with looks. That was the phrase. And also, I was raised that conversation rules the nation. So I've seen plenty of men who are not considered handsome by our society standards, but poor women like 40 going north. And there'll be different factors there. Sometimes it would be because they had money, but for the most part, and just in my subjective experience from what I've grown up around, and just from what I've seen as a whole, these men, like you said, they have more than just looks. They have an actual conversation. They have a personality. Because especially when it comes to women, looks aren't as important to women as they are to men, for the most part. Because you see plenty of women married to ugly dudes, for whatever the reason may be. Women do not value looks on men the way that men value looks on women. So, pretty much any man who's willing to face rejection and who's willing to go out and, learn how to interact with women and learn the art of the conversation, they're going to pretty much be successful in doing so, no matter, how they look. But a lot of it, I believe, does come from the fact that these guys hate rejection. They cannot stand it. And that keeps them from even attempting or even trying to even go and attempt to talk to a woman. And that's the main thing when it comes to getting women, which is what I try to explain to these guys too, because I talk to them a lot as well. And I tell them all the time, like, actually nothing matters, dude. Like, you really do not have to change anything about yourself. Even if you are somehow slick disgusting. It's a game of odds. If you play the odds, you're going to hit at least once. So the thing is getting over your fear of rejection and actually embracing the rejection. Because in that rejection, you can learn a lot. You can learn, well, if you take notes, you can learn why this person rejected you, and then take it to the next person and improve on it. But just through the sheer fact of playing the odds, if you just went out and tried, if you just got off your computer and went out and attempted, and you really don't even have to leave your computer, just inbox. Like, we're in such a society, like, it's so easy nowadays to get women. I'm talking about so fucking easy, especially with the advent of social media, because you can just shoot your shot in the inbox, and now it's not looked at as weird to try and date online. Whereas when I was coming up, and when I was a younger man, because I'm still a young man, although I'm 40, I'm still very young. But when I was a younger man, we didn't have the ability to just message women from anywhere at any time we wanted to. We literally had to get up and go out.
One of my first girlfriends when I was like 21, I met this girl, and I met her on like fucking I think it was Facebook. And so we came up with this elaborate story because I was embarrassed. We had a family gathering and they were going to be like, oh, how'd you guys meet? So we came up with this fake story about how we met in real life. But there was stigma to like finding a girl online back when I was in my 20s.
It was. It most definitely was. I'm telling you, like you were looked at as a creep for the most part. When
or like a loser, that can't approach women in real life. And I'm not very successful. I've met women online, but this is another problem with incels, and I wish I would heed this advice. I've told Castizo this. I said, look, when it comes to Tinder, it's like the top 5% of men that get like 90% of the matches. There's some like real skewed statistic like that, right? Because it's based purely on attraction, initial attraction. They don't care about your personality. They don't care about anything. Do you have a good photo? Do you look good? Okay, so the top 5% of men on these dating apps are basically scooping up all of the likes and all of the matches. So, unless you're like Brad Pitt or Will Smith or whoever you think is good looking, you're not going to have much chance on those apps. So what I tell these incels like Castizo is to dress up nice, go out in public and cold approach. And like, you don't have to do it in a creepy way. And if you're fearful of rejection, because I did this myself, like I wasn't very good at online dating. So, I mustered up the courage. I dressed nicely. I went into the city and I approached women that I thought were super attractive, like, at least seven and above, seven, eights, nines. And so I approached 10 women a day. And of those 10 women I'd approach, I'd probably get a 50%, phone number. So I'd go up and I'd be like, hey, like, are you in a relationship? No, I go up and be like, hey, I find you attractive. Are you in a relationship? That gives them a way to give you an easy out. So if they don't find you attractive, they'll just lie and say, oh, yeah, no, I'm in a relationship, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and then if they say, "Oh no, I'm single," it's like, "Oh well, I'm in a bit of a rush. Can I grab your number, and message you later?" And that leaves you an exit, so you can walk off kind of mysteriously. It looks like you're busy, and you don't have to come up with like kind of witty riz on the spot, which a lot of men would struggle with. So you get the number, or it's exchange Instagrams, and then you message them later. And yeah, I mean, my success rate for that, for getting a date, was about 60%, honestly. And I didn't get any like hard rejections. It's yeah. But men, it's something like 90% of Gen Zs have never approached a woman. So this online dating stuff is like, it's driving dudes insane. And what I noticed too is when I approached more attractive women, I feel like they were more likely to be thrown off and to give me their number or their Instagram rather than kind of mid women. Because like men are more likely to approach
Wait,
women,
but sometimes that'd be out of fear, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
No, you don't like chase them down a corner. You don't chase them down an alley. Like, it's daytime. We're in a public spot. There's tons of passers-byers. I don't think it's out of fear.
Well, I
But
mean, well,
there's ways.
well, I mean, she does kind of make a, she does kind of make a point, because like you said, Dubinsky, when we're out, hunting for numbers and getting numbers, a lot of those numbers that you will call afterwards would probably be the wrong number, right?
Um, no, I mean, it might have happened once or twice. I mean, I didn't do it to a ton of women. I did it. I probably called an approach of maybe 30 women
Oh
whenever
wow.
those.
Oh okay.
Yeah,
Oh
so
okay.
it was like
Yeah.
no rookie numbers, but when I'd go out, like, you know, when it comes to women, I have pretty high standards. Like, and so if I saw a girl and I'm like, wow, she's so beautiful, that would happen to me maybe once a week, once a month. I'd be like, I have to
Yeah.
go talk to her. And what I noticed was even if I went up and I was rejected, I'd feel better about myself than not knowing what could have been. Like I used to
Yeah,
see
most
women and
definitely.
I'd be like, it would eat me up inside. I'd see a girl in the library or whatever, and I'm like, fuck, why didn't I ask her? Like, I'd feel cowardly that I didn't
Most definitely.
approach.
Most
And
definitely.
that
Like,
that 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 like self-infliction would be worse than rejection.
exactly. Exactly. But again, just kind of back to her point, like we would go out, like, me and my guys, like we would just we would go to Walmart, like, because I'm from a small town in Mississippi. So Walmart was like our mall because we didn't have a mall. So just in our local Walmart, it was almost like a pussy smorgasbord, right? And we would get, numbers and plenty of numbers. And sometimes a lot of those numbers would be fake numbers because, as Didi said, there are a number of women who do just engage out of fear of being assaulted, whether verbally or physically, due to rejecting a man. So that
yeah,
element is there, and it does exist because a lot of those numbers that we would call again would be the wrong numbers. Which was
and
fine. We didn't care. We actually enjoyed just the thrill of the catch. I would say. Go ahead, Didi.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I only said that because like it's a lot of the times that's how I feel. Like a lot of people, if they get my number, it's like, especially at night, it's because I don't want to cause a commotion. Like, I don't want to be rude to you and then like you get like aggressive or some shit. So I just give you the number, you message me, I'm gonna block you. That's usually what happens.
And it's a smart thing to do if you are a female and you're listening. We've got 100 people in here, guys. If you want to grab a mic, feel free. I'll put the StreamYards link in the comment section. You don't need an account to join. You can just request. You don't even need a request. You just come up on the panel, pick a username. But yeah, I mean, if you are a woman and you're listening, it's probably best to do that as well. And yeah, I mean, how was your approach though, Jelani? Were you like a pickup guy? Would you say? Because I always felt really cool. I never did it. I always thought it was super corny
Yeah.
to like have like a pickup line. I don't know, like
Well, I mean,
especially a very
so
sexual. It's very especially a very sexual one.
Well, so it like Levinsky, it really just depended, dude. So like coming up in the '90s as a preteen in the '90s, pickup lines, were kind of thing because again, I was raised that conversation ruled the nation. So if you had something slick to say to catch them off guard, then yeah, you would want to do that. And so again, it all depends. It just really depends on the situation. So there were
What did you
times.
have a go? Did
There
you
were
have a
times
go to?
well, yeah, I mean, I was just getting to that. So, there were times when we did have certain pickup lines, that we would just use on all of them just to see who would bite. Again, it's literally just like fishing. It's literally just like fishing. And your pickup line would be your bait. And, every time you throw your bait in, a fish is not going to bite. You have to reel it back in and throw it in again. So it was the same thing. One of those lines would be, don't miss another meal. Which is wild, right? But
Yeah.
that was one of the icebreakers that I would just randomly say to women who were on the thinner side, just as an icebreaker. And sometimes it would they would get angry. Some would laugh it off and leave. Some would laugh and stop.
Yeah.
So like it really was a case by case basis. Another line I used to throw out was, you know, I love you, right? Like literally, like just walking up to him. Excuse me, man.
That's pretty. I
Or
like. I actually like that one.
yeah, listen,
That's
dude. When I tell you, like the thing with women is the first thing is to get them to smile. If you can get a woman to smile, that's half the battle. You know, after you get her to smile, for the most part, she's going to automatically know whether she wants to fuck you or not. And the only thing that's going to prevent her from fucking you is if she is very dedicated in her relationship, if she is very dedicated to being celibate at the particular time and she's just not interested, or if somehow you snatch victory, you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You fuck it up yourself. But
so.
once you get them to laugh, you know, it's then on from there. You know, like you can pretty much walk yourself right into her panties, you know, from being on. And so it was just, you know, not only with just the pickup lines.
Did you ever get a girl straight up, like you had the interaction, she went straight back to your house?
Oh yes, first time, like, you know, instant attractions was almost like my specialty. You know, like I can't even count on both hands the number of times that it's been literally an instant attraction. I'm talking about so much so to where I remember, like when I was in college, I used to work at nightclubs, and you know, and I was a restroom attendant, so like I worked in the bathroom, you know, cleaning people's hands and soap and shit. Like, dude, there have been times, and especially like in restrooms where the men's door was open and the woman's restroom was right across the way, and a lot of times I'll be positioned at the sink, which would be right at the door. So there have been times, dude, when just women going back and forth from the bathroom and me just making eye contact with them, that once I got off work and when I saw them in the club, before I could even approach them good, it was automatic. Like not even a word said. By the time I got ready to approach them, they were, one woman said, "Oh, I was praying you would come say something to me. I was literally waiting on you to say something to me." And it's literally been that easy.
Do you think you could still do that now, Jelani? Like if you weren't married, do you think that, you're too old to do that now?
Well, yeah. So like, if I wasn't married now, most definitely, you know, because it still happens. Like it still happens in public, you know. Like again, you know, I told you one time what my body count was. My body count is on the low end of my player group. You know, I'm at the very low end, and that's because it got to a point with me to where, you know, I would even enjoy just the satisfaction of knowing I could have gotten that woman and didn't even do it. Because again, like even now when I'm out in public, you know, it's just the look and like the gaze. And like I said, I'm so used to it that I can automatically tell when it's there. And you know, I just smile, speak, and keep going. And I can feel her eyes watching me as I leave, and I can just feel her saying, "No, come back, no, come back." You know, but yeah, like it is literally still there. You know, and I don't contribute it all to my looks. You know, because I don't even, you know, like I'm the first person to say I'm ugly, right? But what I do contribute it to is just my presence and just how I carry myself. You know, I think the kids call it aura. So I would just, you know, consider it that, because like just confidence in yourself and, you know, high self-esteem. 90% of communication is nonverbal. So you can relay a deep message without ever saying a word, you know. So, you know, all of that plays a part into it, which is why I encourage all men, especially nowadays. Like I'm telling you, it is so easy for you guys to go out and get numbers and get women nowadays because, again, you don't even have to ask for a phone number. You can just get their socials. You can just get their Instagram or their Facebook or their Twitter. You don't even have to ask for a phone number. Like, get out, go and try. Rejection is so good because, as Davinsky said earlier, you know, you feel way worse knowing that you potentially missed out. And Davinsky, that's why I was so successful with instant attractions and one night stands, is because I went with my first mind, and I just tried it because I had that happen to me one time to where I missed out on a piece of ass that one of my partners ended up getting, all because I was just saying, like I was just like, oh fuck it, I'm not gonna worry about it, Like I saw all the signs, I saw the indicators, and I just said fuck it. and one of my partners, he saw the exact same things. He saw the same signs, he saw the same symbols, and he went and she bit and she took it and he took her and he fucked the shit out of her. And from that day forward, I was like, hell no, I'm not ever missing out on the signs again, and I'm striking every time the iron is hot. So yeah, it's rejection is
Do you
good
think
pain.
that do you think that 25-year-old Jelani or 40-year-old Jelani would have better luck with this now? Do you think that women appreciate older men more than men their own age?
My God, dude, and again, being married, I'm really, tempering myself and walking on eggshells here because, I don't want to make it seem like I missed the
But
life
no,
of it.
hypothetically, not you
Yeah, yeah,
specifically, but let's say
right, yeah,
does someone in
right,
their
yeah. So,
40s have a better
oh no, I
chance
got you, I got you.
scooping
No,
up?
no, no, listen, I got you because again, guys in my group, in my player group, are not married and are still out there, and I'm telling you, it is so much easier for men with experience in conversing with women, and just having even the smallest amount of conversational game. It is so much easier now because women, and I think Didi brought it up, or you brought it up, Levinsky, especially the baddest women, especially the 9s and 10s. They are literally begging for men to approach them. I mean,
Look, I won't lie.
literally begging.
I'm a bit awkward. So that's why I did my approach where I just scoop in, get the number, and walk off a little bit mysteriously. Because I don't
Yeah.
know, on the spot, it'd be a lot of pressure to try and res. But I'm curious about how, Didi, do you want to do a role play with Jelani? He approaches you and just see what game he's got.
No, Levinsky, no.
That
Okay,
that
okay,
man
okay.
has a wife. What are you not getting?
Right,
No,
I can't do that.
uh,
How about you all do the role play, Levinsky? You seem to need, a bit more experience. But yeah,
uh, the
I wouldn't, mind, and again, DD, please don't take this personal, but it's it's the orientation thing. That's an issue. But anyway, I don't even want to dwell on that. But yeah, like the baddest women are begging for attention because you got to look at it. Most of the the fives, the 1 through 6s and the 1 through 7s, they're getting hit on all the time because most men feel like it's attainable to them. So they're kind of and I'm pretty sure they're not getting hit on as much as women 20 years ago. But you got to see that they are still getting hit on more personally than 9s and 10s are. So 9s and 10s are literally begging for someone to approach them. And as a matter of fact, they are complaining that they're not being approached. But that partly comes from what we were talking about earlier, with that particular extreme sect of feminism. That fringe element of
yeah.
feminism who turn catcalling, into something bad, and who turn approaching women, into something that was akin to verbal assault. That particular sect of feminism drove the nail in the coffin for other men approaching women. Now, even though it wasn't the majority of women saying this, but that very loud minority had a big cultural effect on the interactions between men and women on an everyday basis. Didi, you want to say something? I see you got your mic.
Um, no, I think my mic been on, but catcalling is weird though. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's weird.
Yeah, I
Okay, so
had a
do you?
friend that was she was catcalled. She's from Seattle. Um and so she's walking down the street and this guy yells out to her something sexual. And she stops there, and like he's with a bunch of dudes, like just catcalling her. I think they just got off work, like a construction site. And so he cat calls her stuff it's sexual, and she stops. She's like, "Oh, come and do it then." And he was thrown off, like, because he wasn't expecting any response. And then they ended up going to fuck on like a train track. But yeah, like usually, I guess like people with catcall, men with catcall, they're not even expecting anything from it.
Because you know what? I feel like in 2025, if you're a woman and you respond to a man catcalling you, it's like I don't know. It's kind of like low vibration. I don't know how to describe it. It's just something you just can't respond to that. Like I feel like only dirty men do that or some shit. Like
So okay, so your definition of catcalling. So is catcalling the same to you as actually just approaching a woman
What's good,
with a
guys?
no, no,
What's
no, no, no.
dating?
It's not. It's not just approaching
what's
a woman.
good, guys?
Okay.
It's the thing where they do that type of
Wait,
thing. Like
why is it only on my screen? Why is my thing
Well, because you came in
taking all over
talking right
yours?
in the middle of our conversation and you didn't, wait your turn. But anyway, so Dee, you said that which we're about to get to you. Glad you came back. Uh, I'm seeing blue, but blue is not your name. Joy. Glad you came back, Joy. Okay, but Dee, okay, so you okay, so when you say catcalling, you're specifically talking about what? Because
the sound men do like that thing. That
okay, well, I mean, well, you know what? Like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, because like I would consider that, still
Monopoly.
approaching a woman, because again, that's another thing that we used to do back in the gap, as younger men. That's exactly what we would do for the most part, and again,
Can
some
we
would
play
respond, some
Monopoly?
wouldn't. But like, to demonize that as a whole without just signaling out, the toxic element of it has resulted in this lack of engagement with men and women now. So,
Davinsky.
I feel like the reason why I think the way I do is because like if you really look at the men in today's age who do it, they have a certain look to them. They have an aura about them. Like they usually, and
okay,
it's like no
I can agree with
offense,
that.
but they usually have nothing going for themselves. Like
Okay,
Can we play
okay, I can agree with
Monopoly?
that.
I'm getting depressed.
So
Be
Joy,
quiet, Joy.
if you want to get on the conversation, we have a question for you. So what we're talking about is approaching women and how incels nowadays are afraid to approach women. They're afraid of rejection, and that's in part due to the extreme arm of feminism. But what I was just saying earlier is how back when I was a younger man, how that's all we did was approach women, and it worked for us because rejection is a good thing that teaches you how to have these conversations with women, in order to, persuade them to fuck you. So, from your perspective, Joy, how do you feel about men approaching women versus inboxing them?
I think approaching is more. I think approaching, depending on where you're like at in the setting, right? Because it also depends on time and place. But like if like you guys are in like a chill setting or whatever, like let's say a cafe or whatever, or like maybe you guys are meeting each other in like in between college classes, or
Speak up, Joy.
you guys
Speak up.
bump
Speak up,
into
Joy.
each other.
Speak up, Joy, so
So
we can hear you.
Can y'all
okay,
hear
can
me?
you guys hear me?
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, we hear you.
You hear me, Jelani?
Yeah, we hear you, Peninsula. Go ahead and finish, Joy.
Wait, hold up. One sec. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, we
yeah, we
can
hear
hear
you. Go
you.
ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
No, we can't.
Yes.
Go away, Joy.
Okay, okay.
Can,
So,
can you hear me, Davinsky?
oh my god.
What, Joy? Can you hear us? Why do you? Oh, he's so annoying.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I can
yeah,
hear. I can.
yeah, Davinsky, I hear
I'm
her.
asking if
You
you
hear Joy
guys can hear
call.
me.
Go ahead,
Okay, go
Joy.
ahead.
Okay,
You
so
don't. You don't
base.
need to ask if we can hear you. Everyone can hear you.
Okay, you don't have to be rude. So basically, thank you, Jelani. Doing so you don't be rude. So basically, honestly, when it comes to this, I think it's honestly better to honestly like. I think either or is fine, right? But I think like when it comes to approaching women, like make sure it's like make sure like her body language is calm, right? Like a little bit like if she seems like distressed or something, ask if she's okay first or whatever when you approach her, right? Um, yeah, and honestly, just make sure like it's not like a crazy ass setting or something, right? Unless it's like a party type of setting, then that's like normal to approach someone at. But yeah, I think approaching someone in person is actually a great way to meet them.
Very well
As
said.
long as you do it in like a respectful manner, right? You're
Hmm.
not like rude about it. You're kind, right? You're
Yeah,
respectful,
it's
you know,
not.
all of that.
Joy, how do you feel about the catcalling though? Like whenever men do that thing.
I don't like that. I'd rather just be told, "Hey, you look beautiful today, ma'am," and then like just have the person keep walking by instead of like some shit like, "Psst, psst, psst," or that,
Yeah,
"Oh, your
I,
ass is fat" or some shit. Like, no, I'd rather be given a kind compliment that isn't explicit.
Okay.
Okay, so just
I
so
want to
we're
go to
clear,
the.
one
Go
minute
ahead,
is asked right
Jelani.
quick. So ladies, just so we're clear, you're walking by and the guy just says, hey, excuse me, ma'am. That's not considered catcalling to you, right?
Yeah, that's not catcalling.
no, that's different. That's different.
That's not
Okay,
catcalling.
okay. So specifically, catcalling would just be basically just making noises.
Yeah.
Making noises or making like explicit comments about your body, like, "Oh, your ass fat bitch. Let me
No,
tap," or some shit like that.
I don't think that's not considered catcalling. That's just
I think that's catcalling. That's what I think of with catcalling is like overtly sexual comments.
wait.
Yeah.
Let me look this up because I never thought of that as
Like
catcalling.
if you're
That's
just
always
walking
how.
by on the
Like,
street and all of a sudden someone just like comes up to you and be like, "Oh yeah, your ass fat bitch." Like,
Well,
no, I
see,
want you to say hi to me. I want you to be like, "Hi,
right,
how's your
right.
day? You look
Well, see,
beautiful
growing up,
today, ma'am." Like I
right.
want to be treated with respect.
Right. Well, see, growing up, all of that we were taught, was catcalling, but again, it was not frowned upon then. It was actually encouraged then because you were encouraged to pretty much, just say whatever you needed to say or felt you wanted to say to get that person's attention or to, somehow break the ice with them or whatever. But now I know things are different. But
I'd rather have a guy walk by me and be like, "Hey yo, sir, do you look fine?" Like I that's okay. Like being told that is fine. Cause like that's
okay,
not like
so
overtly sexual, right?
right, so
Or
right, so
like
it's not so
someone like
much
walking up to me being like, "Oh, you look beautiful today, ma'am. I like how your hair looks." Right? Like something like that. Like that's very sweet. I would actually think about giving my number to them then. Like I
right.
if they
Right.
approach me like that, I would definitely think about it. I would be
Right.
like,
like,
So
this person's
it's not so
nice.
much what they say, but it's how they say it.
Yeah.
okay.
And that's
It's
I
also
wanna.
what they
I
say
wanna.
though. It's also what they say though. I don't want to have
Yeah.
something overtly sexual being told like in a disrespectful manner. Like, "Oh, I would make or like, yo, shawty, you got some dick sucking lips. Come gag on this dick." Like, no,
right.
I'm not gonna approach that person.
So
Okay.
I
I'm
looked
gonna
it
be
up.
weirded
I
out,
so I looked it up, and Divinsky, you were
especially
right.
if it's randomly on his random street. Like, it's not even at a club or something. It's just randomly like in the most random ass setting. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool,
What were
cool.
you saying,
Let's get
DD?
Diddy right here.
I said I looked it up, and yeah, Divinsky, you're right. I didn't know catcalling was like shouting out like
Look,
explicit sexual stuff. Like
the
I didn't know.
the DR is the worst country I've ever had
who
for
muted
this.
me?
I muted you. I'm talking.
Don't mute.
So the DR is the worst country for this. Dominican Republic. And so I flew my ex out twice, and so I'd be in a store and I'd go away, and like she'd be approached like by one or two different dudes. Even like shop attendants and stuff would approach her. Some of them were sexual, like, hey, like, you want to come to the bathroom with me, blah blah blah. And um and then so I'd be at the beach and I have these tourist police here, and tourist police are meant to look out for tourists, like that's their job. So I'd be swimming, I'd be distracted, I'd come back, and my ex would be like, "Oh, that fucking cop was just like grabbing on his crotch and like doing like sexual things with his tongue, looking at me for like 10 minutes." And it's a very sick country in that sense that like if they want to be family friendly, like they have to erase that from their culture because it's not comfortable. I mean, it's great for like a single guy, but like it wouldn't want me to bring my girlfriend here on a vacation. But Peninsula, who are you? I want to hear your voice. Are you from Twitter?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Scott.
Oh, Scott. Okay, I was worried that you had a freaking emoji. I thought you were gonna come on camera and do
Wait, what the
something
fuck?
bad.
That's good. He's not
What
talking
the
in his
fuck?
hillbilly voice.
Spicy corn. Hi, spicy corn. Hi, Scotty.
Yo, yo,
So I want to do a role
That's
play.
spicy.
Spot.
Oh, what's up, Spice?
yo, yo.
So
All right.
spicy.
Hmm?
Um, you approach DD in a restaurant. No, in a cafe. Right. So you see DD. How do you approach her?
Wait, where's Spicy?
His name's Peninsula.
All right, I see DD in the store.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all would be cute
Hold up,
together. You
Joy.
and
Joy,
DD
Hold
please
on,
would.
be.
Joy.
Joy, please
Hold
be
on, Joy.
quiet for a moment. Oh, and also, Spicy, can you live stream this? Can you
Scott
cross stream?
and DD would be
Joy,
cute
shut
together.
up! Holy sh!
Joy, hold on, just a moment.
Keep this professional. I'm so.
You're next,
You're
Joy.
like a. Okay, relax. Scott, can you cross stream this to X? We'll get more people in here. We got 107 live listeners right now. But the more people that cross stream,
Wait,
the
there's
more people we get in here.
107 people listening right now.
Yeah, there are.
Watch
We're on Twitch,
this.
we're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Kick.
Wait,
Oh my
hold on.
God! Hi,
Wait,
people.
wait, Davinsky, can him and Joy do it instead?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. But Scott, can you cross stream? Is that possible?
Um, I could try. Let me see.
Oh my God! Hi, listeners. My name is Blue.
Blue, we'll come back to you. Jelani needs to tell Scott how to do it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, Scott.
You guys can
Just
add me on Patreon at Blue
hold
Peace
on, Joy. We got you, Joy. Hold
with the
on, Joy.
purple
Hold on,
profile
Joy. We got
picture.
you, Joy. Joy, hold on, just a moment, Joy. We got you. We're gonna do a station identification, and he'll put you in. He'll put you on the big screen. Make sure you got your Twitter handle ready. Spicy. Just look. If you look in the top right hand corner, you should see
Mhm.
where it says share with your audience.
Let me see. Just to you. I think I have to log in first because I don't think I'm logged in. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's just.
yeah. You just have to log in, and then you'll be able to do it. It might kick you out, but you can just come right back.
Wait, what did they comment? Did they say something in the comments?
No, guys, if you want to drop a comment, feel free. We'll read them out. I'll also put the StreamYard's link, so if you want to come up on the panel, feel welcome. If you're enjoying the stream, please like, subscribe wherever you're listening. It'll help us boost us in the algorithm. And yeah, so go ahead, Joy. You can shout yourself out. If you want to go on camera, you'll probably get more followers.
I like being mysterious.
So tell the audience about yourself, Joy.
Uh, can you talk for me?
So Joy is a 19-year-old autistic
I'm not
Nepalese.
autistic. Stop. No, you
Okay,
can't talk for
okay.
me
Well,
now.
speak for yourself.
You can't talk for
Speak,
me
speak for
now.
yourself. Go ahead, Joy. Speak for yourself.
I'm hi guys. I'm Blue. I also go by like Blue and stuff. So like yeah. Yeah, and like I love doing art and music and sketching, like as in like drawing and art and stuff. I like music
Well,
as well. I love
do you want to
singing and
show us some of
rapping.
your art? You can turn on your back camera so it's not on your face, and you can show us some of your art.
I like singing and rapping as well. I have a Patreon actually where I do custom songs and stuff and custom like requests for like art and stuff and like creative things and stuff, right? So like you guys that like and I also do like custom art and stuff on it and like and shit
Do
like
you
that.
paint or do you draw?
I do both.
So why don't you turn on your camera, back camera, because that
But
option, and then
I don't have it out right now with me. But like yeah, so basically yeah, and my Patreon is Blue Piece. So it's blue. So BLUE peace, a space peace, PEACE. And you need to scroll down a little bit like on the Patreon like creator like pages, and you'll see like a purple page where like there's like a purple with the like the letter B and purple, right? You guys can check that out. Also check out my TikTok. My TikTok uh is Suna Nivera. So it's SUNNANIVARA Nivera, right? Suna SUNNANIVARA. That's my TikTok. Like no spaces, nothing. Just like just simply just that.
okay, that's
Yeah.
enough. That's
Am I
enough promotion.
no wait, hold up.
No, that's enough. That's enough. You need to go on camera, show me your artwork, and then we'll.
My Twitter is, let me finish saying this, okay?
You can put it in the chat too, Joy, and they'll see
My
it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Put
if
it
you
in the
just put
comment
it in the chat,
section.
they'll see it.
How do you do that?
You can also look at my name. You see how my name has PhD Davinsky on X. You can do it like that too, so people listening can just see your Twitter handle
Yeah.
on your name.
Wait, what's my Twitter handle
Yeah, just like
again?
we don't know, Joy. Belongs to you.
Wait, what's my Twitter handle?
You have so many pages.
Just look it up and put it in comment section.
Wait, don't you guys remember?
Why would?
No,
How
no.
would we remember your
Right.
Twitter handle when you
Oh
don't?
yeah, it's blue FVV. So it's blue F two V's. Blue BLUE FVV. Lowercase b at the start. That it's blue
Okay, you're getting annoying now. I get it.
FVV. Two V's.
Well done, Joy. Go on camera, show some of your artwork.
I have to get it out first.
We'll get it out and you can show us. I want to see myself. But yeah, so where were we?
All right. So yeah, back to the conversation. I think we're about to do a skit. To
Oh yes. Oh, Spicy, you still there?
Yeah. And this can be like a tutorial. So like this can be a tutorial for the incels, to help beat feminism. This is how we beat feminism, by going out and talking to women.
Yes, I'm still here.
Were you able to see the login?
I'm about to log. I'm currently being
Why
A-logged
does it
by.
say only 5 people
Joy,
are watching?
Joy, be quiet.
I'm currently being A-logged by my previous girl, and I don't want her to come in here.
Okay.
I actually I don't want her to know I'm on here.
I
Oh,
Wait,
mean,
who's your
it's
previous girl?
You don't know her.
it's okay, Joy.
no, Joy, it's not.
Anyway, Scott, would you say that you have in
Wait,
real
no,
life?
I'm asking
Joy,
Scott.
shut up. It's none
Scott.
of your business. Okay, Scott, would you
Yeah, it
say?
is. That's one of my
Joy, I'm gonna
besties.
kick you from the space if you interrupt one more time. You're
Oh, boy,
killing the
just chill.
space.
Just chill, boy. The crowd is loving you. Just chill.
Yeah. You're okay.
Oh, it says only 5 people are listening.
No, it doesn't. That's 5 people on stage.
Then how do you check who's listening?
So, because I'm the host, it says it up the top of mine, so I can screenshot it and prove it. I'll put it on my page. But if you go to my latest screenshot on my tweet, you'll see.
Wait,
I think
where are you guys cross
we're up
streaming on?
on X, Twitch, YouTube, Kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to
How
my
do I
page.
check?
So right
You
now
can
we
go
got
to my page.
123 live listeners.
Yeah. Just go to our pages. You can go to his Twitter page and check. You can go to my Twitter page and check. You
And
can also check.
we got a compliment earlier that this is the best show.
Yeah.
That was Alan that said that. So I mean, that was a nice little
Oh
boost.
yeah, I think it was because of me, to be honest.
Wait, are
But
you
you know.
talking about like Billie Eilish?
Okay, Joy. Okay, so Scott, would you say that you a Riz?
Oh
Do you
wait,
have? Do
actually,
you
if Billie
Joy?
Eilish is watching, I
I
love
will
you, Billie
kick you.
Eilish.
Joy,
Joy,
I will kick
hold
you.
on.
I'm gonna include you in this, right? I know you love
Yeah.
attention. You'll be included in this. So, Scott, would you say that you have in real life Riz?
Yeah, I would hope so.
All
And
right. So you're in a cafe, you see Joy, and just pretend she's someone super attractive if you don't find Joy attractive. And let's do a little role play. So she's sitting there, she's got her donut, she's got a chocolate frappe, and you see her, she looks at you, she smiles. What do you do?
um, I look at her and I kind of make a joke. I ask her, "Is the food good?" And then depending on which.
Let's play it out, Joy. Joy is the
Yo.
let's do it like a real conversation. So
Look, she's
Scott
Okay.
ready
approaches
too.
you.
Look,
Oh
she's
god,
ready
I
to
need to
be.
calm down.
She
Scott
is ready.
approaches
Okay,
you.
wait, let me get into character. Let me get into character.
He asks you,
And
"Is the food
disclaimer for
good?"
everyone: Joy is 19 and of legal age. She just sounds very, very young, but she is an
Yeah.
adult.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, what up, fella?
What up, Dre?
What's up,
So
bro?
Scott just approached you and he said, "Is the food good?" So carry on the conversation from there. And you
Okay.
actually find Scott attractive as well.
Okay. Wait, do you guys hear my background right now?
No.
No, we don't.
Okay, okay. Like you guys just hear my voice.
Right.
Okay. Let me just like change the settings.
Come on, Joy. No, we don't have. You're fine.
Joy, your mic is fine.
Yeah, go ahead,
Right.
Joy.
Okay.
I was able to click a setting where I was able to reduce your background noise. So I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
fine. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Okay.
All right. So you're gonna address, like Scott's just sitting there for 2 minutes. You haven't said anything.
What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to wait.
So it's a role play. Do you know what a role play is? That's when you act out something
I
like a
know what a
story.
role play is. I'm waiting for Scott to start.
Okay, go ahead, Scott.
I don't even think she understand how you set it up. Like you kind of set it up
So
like
you're both in a cafe, right? You both find each other attractive. You've got a little chocolate donut and a chocolate frappe, and Scott approaches you, and this is what Scott says.
is the food good?
Oh hi. Yeah, the food's actually pretty good. I like how you look today. I've seen you here before, but I never really tried to approach you before. Do you want to sit next to me?
Um, this, this one would be too easy to rescue because
No.
like,
Are you?
like
I don't think. You
at
want
this
me to act
point
like how I would
it's
actually
it's
act
already
in real life?
it's
Hey.
already it's already
Okay. Do you guys want me to act like how I actually would act in real life in that situation?
Yeah, act a
It's a
bit
done deal.
sassy.
It's
Okay.
a done deal already, Scott.
Okay. Okay. Restart. 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 Restart.
Okay.
Okay. Restart.
I'm still gonna ask you, is the food good? Because I caught you looking at me. I'm looking at you.
Bruh, restart the thing though. Restarting from the top.
Okay, he is. He is.
Levinsky, I'd rather just give you the play-by-play of like what I would do.
Bruh, just start the fucking role play. Oh my god.
Just
I'm sorry.
Scott, just ask her
Sorry.
one more time. Is the food good?
Is the food good? Are you enjoying your food?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
And then that's when I would ask her, where you from?
I'm from around here. What about you?
And I would say where I'm from. I would say me too. Then I would say
No, do it like.
Bruh, do it like an actual roleplay, Spicy. What are you doing?
What what
Spicy.
what what are we doing here?
We're doing the role play because we're showing the incels that it's okay. The best way to fight against feminism is to go out and approach women. So this is a role play of what it's like.
Okay. All
Kind
right.
of teach them how to approach women.
Put an end to his OnlyFans shit, man.
Yeah. All right, Spicy, go ahead.
all right. I'm from around here too. How often do you come here?
I come here like once a week.
All right. Then I'm probably gonna just go for the kill. I'm gonna say, do you mind if I uh take your number or get your Instagram? I don't really spend too much time talking.
Yeah, sure. Do you want my Instagram?
And then then I get it. And then I say, well, I'll
Okay,
hit you. I'll
yeah.
hit you up later. And then that's
Let
it.
me let me write it down for you.
I feel like it's mostly like, for me, like in my experience, it's mostly like a numbers game. And when you go out there and
And
talk to
like,
people,
here's my number too. I put
Yeah,
my Instagram and my number. Here you go.
I feel
And
like
proceeds to give sticky note. Proceeds to give pink sticky note with number and Instagram.
we gonna
wait,
clear
I
the
feel like
incel in here.
All right.
Let's do a new one. Let's do a new one. Yo,
Hold on,
how's
hold
your
on,
risk?
hold on, though. Before we
He's
go,
not in
you know,
character. He needs to be in character. I'm actually being in character.
no, actually, that was a great example because while it may be rare, trust me, guys, there are literal women out there like Joy right now.
Yo,
Like,
are you saying I'm
literally.
easy? Yo, are you saying I'm easy?
Well, I
I
wouldn't say
mean,
easy, but I'll just say you're
wait,
malleable
no,
or you're
listen. I
pliable.
don't
No,
think
no,
I
yo,
don't wait,
y'all saying I'm easy. That's
wait,
Hold
crazy.
on,
no,
no, no,
listen.
hold on. Listen,
No,
I'm not saying you're easy, boy.
you're
What I'm saying is
reciprocating.
that
Is that the term?
yeah. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're just very, open, to the idea of meeting new people. So just for the
Yeah,
record, guys, there are women out there just like that who are very eager to be met, who are very
Yep.
eager to meet, who are very eager to, have a conversation with. So that's all.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yo,
I'm
D to
putting
the
tape
Dre.
on my
How is
face.
your Riz game?
I think
Huh?
Didi was trying to say something.
yeah, I was trying to say something like
Go ahead, Didi.
girl, but yeah, I
I'm
feel like
bored,
it's
so
a
I'm
matter.
putting tape on my face.
Hold on, Joy. Go ahead,
Okay.
Didi.
So I feel like it's a matter of like initial attraction, to be honest, especially if it's a meet on meet thing. So if you're initially attracted to this person, you're more likely to give their number out. You'll figure out the personality and whether you like this person after that.
Oh, word,
Agreed.
word. Well said.
Agreed.
Well said.
All right, Dre. It's on you, bro.
Wait,
oh,
what's the question?
so what am I doing?
Oh,
Firstly, how
oh,
is your Riz game out of 10?
Mine?
No, D to the Dre.
not like talking to Dre.
Oh.
I mean, shit, man. You know what I mean? I try to, I ain't a freak. I mean, I guess I'm a freak, but I don't try to, I don't try to be a creep, that's for sure. But, I go for older women, though. That's what my risk game is at. I'm not going to lie to you. I go for older women.
Well,
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm 30. I've never been with a woman younger than me.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
On a
Okay,
scale
that's
of
a
1
lie.
to 10,
You
though,
intend to talk. That's a
on
lie.
a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate
Wait,
your
am I not supposed
conversation?
to mention that?
Okay.
I didn't even hear what you said. But
That's
I would say
No, I'm
like,
saying like an 8. Okay.
yeah, solid 8. Yeah.
You want to do a role play, D to the Dre? I'll set up the situation. You could try Riz up a Joy.
Let's go.
All right. So you're at a Haitian restaurant, Joy. First time you've ever tried it. You look a bit lost. You're looking at the menu. You
an
see
Asian
Dre,
restaurant?
and like a little bit more standoffish this time, but like a natural kind of standoffish, and see if he can
Wait,
like win
can
you
you
over.
repeat that? I wasn't listening properly.
So
What you
you're
said?
at a Haitian restaurant. So it's your
Oh,
first time eating there, right? You're looking
yeah.
at the menu. You look confused, and D to the Dre sees you, but this time be a little bit more standoffish and see if he can win you over.
Okay, got it.
All right. So Dre approaches.
Excuse me, did you drop something?
Yeah, I did. I'll pick it up.
You dropped my heart.
Are you okay? Do you need a doctor? Like, should I call like the ambulance or something?
Hey, listen, that line right there works 10 out of 10 in real life. I swear to God.
No. Keep it going. Keep it going, Greg.
Okay.
Recover.
No. Yeah. Where's she at? I can't even see nobody. I just see me and Jamari.
Blue.
Well, she's not on camera. Her name's Blue.
Blue. Yeah, Blue. Roses are red. You know what I mean? Violets are blue. Can I get to know you? Damn, shit. Forget Haitian food. We can go back to my crib and I'll cook some food for you. You see the Haitian flag right there? The Haitian restaurant ain't gonna get it in like I get it in.
Okay, so like, I'm gonna make one thing clear. I'm not about to fuck you.
That's cool.
We can be friends.
I was just trying to make some food for you, and I'm a chef, top 5-star chef in town.
Also, I'm very selective when it comes to making friends too. So I might just like if I don't like your vibe, I might just like walk out of your house and not come back ever. Another thing, how do I know you're not a murderer or something?
How do I know you're not a murderer?
Well, cause like, I'm not like, well, like I'm not a murderer because I'm not a murderer. Like,
it's woman serial killers out there too.
Well, I'm not, so like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a murderer. With
Okay,
me and you, so you cool, I'm cool, we cool.
Okay. What now?
I mean, as you trying to get this food?
Okay.
All right, let's go eat.
Okay.
All right.
Case closed. Boom. That's good. That's good.
Role play. I don't know what the fuck we doing.
And there you go. Like,
you know, for the
that's an actual, that could be an actual, like that is an actual conversation.
That sounds like a conversation I've had.
Yeah. Like I've literally had that same conversation with them, especially with asking them to come to your place. You don't have to just meet them. That's literally one of the first things they say. Well, how do I know you're not this, and how do I know you're not that? So, guys, listen. Conversation rules the nation. And even if you fumble at first, you can always still recover. There's no need to just, pack it up and leave. You just got to keep going and just got to keep trying. But see, that's what's so great about rejection too, right? See, because in rejection, you learn that. So let's just say that you did take the rejection and just leave. Hopefully you will learn from that and be like, you know what, next time I'm going to come back and I'm going to recover. I'm not just going to, take the rejection lying down. I'm gonna at least attempt to, try to persuade a little bit more. But that's what guys are afraid of. Like these incel type dudes, they're exactly afraid of any type of pushback, from a woman.
Yeah, and like when you're nervous, it's hard to be funny too. So Joy, who was better, Scott or Dre? Who do you think that you would have given it up to first?
Given what up to?
Give it your heart.
I mean, neither.
That's fair.
All right. What about hookup? Like, who do you think? Who had more riz? Like, who was more charming?
I would need to like spend more time with them and get to know them before I give my heart up. That's
which approach was okay? Which approach was better?
This is why I don't do women younger than me, bro. Because like they think slow, can't really make up their
mind. No. I would need to at least spend one night.
Levinsky asked her the wrong question. Levinsky said heart.
I would need to spend some time. Like I'm not about to just like I'm not just gonna be giving it out.
Levinsky asked you the wrong question when he asked you about heart. What he should have asked you is, which one would you give your ass up to first?
That's what I was going to
say. Neither.
Okay, all right.
Neither. So, I would need to get to know them more.
Okay, so nothing in that particular conversation was instant enough for you to, I guess, to get you with.
Yeah, nothing was really.
Okay. I got a question. What would be a deal breaker?
Huh?
what would be a deal breaker? Like, for example, do you like anime?
Yeah, I like anime.
Okay, then that would be like a green check for me. For me, a chick that doesn't like anime, that's a deal breaker for me. You feel me? So like, what's a deal breaker for you?
I don't I don't know.
A bum. A bum.
A bum. Yes, that.
Okay.
I mean, but
I'm
you would,
oh my god, wait, honestly, Didi, you're oh my god. Creole,
but
Didi,
you wouldn't give a
literally,
bomb your number
you're
though.
so accurate. You're so accurate. You are so correct and like spot
I mean,
on.
but
Like
here's
I
the
was
thing
thinking
though.
that, I wanted to say that, but I was too scared to say that for a second.
I mean, but hold on, listen. You wouldn't give a bum your number. So like we're talking in relation to someone who you gave your number to already. What would be the deal breaker to cut off communication or to not pursue further interest in that person who you've already given your number to?
If I go on a date with them and they expect me to pay.
Okay, so expecting you to pay is a deal breaker.
Like I would hope they would offer to pay at least first. And like let's say they forgot their like card or something, then that's fine. I can pay, right? That's fine. That's like okay, I can pay then, right? But like it's like if it's just like he's just not even showing any like normal like chivalry that like men are supposed to show, like it's kind of like
Look,
Can
I
I?
think that let me just say this. I think that taking a woman to a restaurant, like especially an expensive restaurant on a first date, is a terrible idea because there's always going to be like that little thing about, oh, who's going to pay, blah, blah, blah. And it's also just an off putting setting, I feel. Like you're across from each other, there's people around that you feel like the eavesdropping on your conversation. You have your food, which you probably just want to eat. You're probably going to get food on your face. I don't
like
like that.
I here's
I
the
think that a
thing.
better date would be just like going to the boardwalk, going to the beach, buying her an ice cream. And then that doesn't matter. It's like, oh well, do you want to spend $200 or $100 on a meal, or do you just want to buy her a $5 ice cream and not have to deal with like who's gonna pay? And like you can walk around, you can make observational comments, you'll be like, oh look at that person, or just have conversation, but it's less intense from sitting across like an interview.
Okay, so can I say
Y'all
something?
be going to fancy places?
Okay, so for the
I'm joking. I know women. I know. I know about like. I'm gonna shut up. I'm like over like talking right now. I'm
okay,
so sorry.
can I talk? Like, can
Yeah.
I? So for that second interaction, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of like ass because you invited me to your house. No, I mean we could have gone out for ice cream, as Davinsky said, someplace public. I don't think I'm just gonna go to a random's house. Like, or you could have said, oh, can I join you for the meal? Because she was at a restaurant. Like, you could have joined her for the meal. Like, that would have been better.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
I
too.
agree
I
with
thought,
that. I agree
I
with
thought,
that.
I thought that. Look, if the option, if he's going for getting her home though, like that's not a bad approach, right? So that's why I didn't say anything. But if your objective is just to like get to know her a little bit, get a number, and then meet up again, then I would have been like, oh well, I'm Haitian. Let me tell you what like our good food is. Let's go through the menu, blah blah blah. Because when you said, "Oh, you want to come back to my house, I can cook for you," it kind of has that implicit, like, "I'm gonna fuck you."
Yeah, but see, depending on, like you said, depends on your goal, Davinsky. Go ahead, Dre.
My bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dre.
I was saying we was talking about the Riz game, and Davinsky gave a scenario, so I just went off of the scenario where like they didn't have the type, like she didn't like the food or some shit. I don't know.
Right. Now listen, so like, if the goal is to get the pussy, then like what you did was exactly in line with trying to get to the goal in which you're trying to get to. Now, whether they accept it and go along with it or not, is on them. But see, so like coming up, that was our goal though. Coming up as a younger man, it was our goal to get in your panties as immediately as possible. So
That's
the whole time coming, so
That's
the whole hold on. So the whole time of coming to meet you, like my whole conversation is going to be geared towards trying to get
Do
to that
people
specific
not date for like marriage
as possible.
anymore? Do people not
But
care about that stuff anymore?
hold on, Joy. Here's the thing. So, coming up, we were not dating for marriage. Again, we were some young bulls out trying to get as much pussy as we could get while we could. And so, but since that was our entire goal, most of our interactions.
So this was like when y'all were in like high school or like college?
No. I'm talking about, so like I'm 40. So pretty much, coming
Like
up
through your 20s?
Listen, yeah, 20s, 30s, all the way up until I got married. This was the goal, was to get the pussy as fast as possible.
How did you know that the person that you wanted to marry was the one?
Hold on,
How did
Joy.
you know?
Hold on, Joy. Wait a minute. Let me finish my point.
Cause like I want to figure out like, cause like if men are just like going and moving like this, what's the way to actually find someone that actually wants to settle down then?
Hold on just a moment, Joy. We're not talking about marriage right now. But the point is that when you're coming from that particular approach, again, our approach was to either get you to our place or get in your place before there was ever even a date. Like, this whole culture.
Weird.
But no, it's not weird. It's actually well, again, it's actually how it's always been for the most part when, a person has the right type of conversation.
I want to be treated like a queen. I want to be treated like
just listen. All you're doing is talking right now. Just listen. So, of
course,
I
want to be taken on a nice date. I want to go to a nice restaurant. It doesn't have to be a nice restaurant on the first date, obviously.
Oh my God.
But like, I think it's a good impression.
You're like conversation.
I like to find things.
So of course, you would not be made to feel like you were just a piece of meat or like I'm just trying to get in your panties. You would not know that by me approaching you. Okay. But again, that would be the ultimate goal or motive in my approaching you. But from the very beginning, it would be an interaction of, well, hey, let's just say you're out at the store. So my whole thing is to get your number to see if maybe I can come kick it with you later. Now, most times they're probably going to say no, but a lot of times they were open to saying, well, hey, you know what? Yeah, you can come over later. And so this is before any other date. Our conversation in first meeting never was, let me take you on a date or let me take you out to eat. The first absolute thing was, after talking and conversating and getting the number, was to, hey, can I hit you up later and come over and kick it? And so in my case, I would give myself, I would probably say, for me, it happened about maybe 20% of the time. So out of every 100 women I would talk to, at least 20 of them, I would be able to at least get in their home, if not have sex with them, 20% of the time. And that was just based on the approach. And of course, I would get all those same questions. Why you want to come see me right now? Like, well, you trying to hurt me in such and such? So I learned through those interactions how to have responses to that and how to disarm them, because a lot of women do do feel threatened by men trying to come into personal spaces or their personal spaces like that with them so quickly. But like I said, by the time I got older, I was just so accustomed to it that it just kind of rolled off the tongue, and it never was an issue. Like I said, I would say maybe at a 20% clip, I was able to get women, have sex with them before ever even taking them on a date, spending a dime, doing any of that. This whole culture of having to take a woman out first before you have sex with her, that's foreign to me. That's not, because that's not how we came up. We came up with instantly getting at you, and our main goal was to get somewhere personal and private with you. Because if I can get you alone, personal and private by yourself, 7 times, 8 times out of 10, I'm going to be able to get you wet enough for you to give me the pussy. Not me take it, but for you to give it to me.
Dre, would you like to cross stream? We've got 150 live listeners right now. Up to you if you want to cross stream to any platforms. The more people cross stream, the larger our audience. Also, if you want to do it too, DD, feel free. I mean, the more people that do it, the larger the audience.
Yeah. So Joy, it wouldn't be. No, no, I was just saying it wouldn't be me, coming up and saying, like letting you know that this is my ultimate goal is just to have sex with you. That wouldn't even be on your mind. And as a matter of fact, what I come to find out is that in those situations, when most women would say yes, they would say exactly what you said, Joy, was that, oh well, don't think you're gonna come over and fuck. Don't think we're gonna fuck. Don't think we're gonna do this. That would literally be the first thing they would say almost every time. And I would be like, cool. I'm not even trying to fuck. I'm just trying to come watch a movie, just come chill, just come talk, converse with one another. I have no intentions whatsoever. Because again, I knew that once I got along with them, that I would be able to, that they would be feeling me so much and that the vibe would be so great. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We've been able to hear
Okay,
you.
Joy, can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like it would never be anything that you would know off the bat that was my motive, because again, I knew that I didn't have to lead with that, because once I was able to get along with you and spend that time with you, just me being who I am in my aura, it would entice you to again offer up the pussy, just based off of how we're vibing and how we're communicating, because most times it's going to lead to some type of touching. And whether that touching is just sitting close to one another, like for guys like myself, all we need is just the opportunity. That's it. And once the opportunity is there, then everything else would be just a natural progression of how, for lack of a better word, how player we were.
Well, I've been a virgin for 19 years of my life now, so.
Okay, well, that's debatable, but
It sounds like.
What do you mean by
That
that's
sound like.
debatable? What you mean by that? Like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, we gotta take your word for it. So, it's not like there's evidence to prove whether it's true or not. So we'll just take your word for it.
The evidence is the fact that I'm saying that I've literally been a virgin my entire life.
Okay, great. Great. We'll take your word for it. I would say that just means that you haven't met the right guy yet.
I mean, or she's just the perfect woman. I'm just saying.
Well,
Joy, we
honestly,
need more women in
there are a
here.
lot of 19.
We need to get that Stacy girl in here.
For real, you want Stacy?
Yeah, Joe, send a space to some of your friends.
You know who Stacy is, Dre?
Yeah, I know Stacy. Let me send her the invite.
Yeah, she said she was gonna join last night, but she was very drunk.
All of my friends are like 22 plus.
We'll bring them in.
That's fine. Right. That's perfect.
Jelani, do you find Stacy attractive?
Stacy is not an ugly woman at all. So yeah, and she would probably be even more attractive, if she did some different things. But yeah, she's not an ugly person.
Okay.
I'm not attracted to her, but I would. She has a face that a lot of men would be attracted to.
Yeah.
What do you think, D2? What do you
I'm
think
not
about
gonna
Stacy?
lie, I have a crush on Creole.
Are you bi or?
Yeah, but like not like that though. Like I have a crush on her as in like she's a cool person and like platonically I think she's really cool.
Stacy like girls. I said me too.
Okay, so you don't have a crush as in an intimate crush.
No, like well when we nowadays in Gen Z lingo we say like we have a crush on someone when we just like them like in general though as well, like when we're just like friends with someone.
Oh my God, Joy, I love you.
Huh?
I love you.
That's too far. That's like not like that's like the love you still means the same thing.
Yeah, but my generation, we say we love you like, we just admire you. I love you.
Love is a strong word.
Oh, oh, sorry, I
Can I
realized something.
crush you?
What at one point, crush was a pretty strong word, or at least had a strong connotation to it. But do
It
you
did
have
really, it
like
really did.
do you
It meant
have bi
strong
tendencies?
infatuation.
Yeah,
Huh?
right. No, I was like, do you have bi tendencies?
I don't know.
I think
Do
most
you,
girls are
do
the
you
standard of sexual like type of straightness, instead of like broadening their sexual horizon. Like there was a type of straightness back then, and now since there's like almost zero like shame correlated with any type of sexual practice, girls, they, especially around guys their age, they're not attracted to guys their age unless he's like the most popular dude in school, or unless his dad put him into wrestling at the age of 5, because these guys are more immature than ever. They just play games and they're like attracted to brain rot. So like they're underdeveloped, kind of like undisciplined dudes their age. So like girls, they look at the other girls and then they're like, "Oh, you're actually pretty." And then they get exposed to these ideas on Netflix where girls make out with their best friends and do like these things. So Joy has that in her mind.
That's not what
yeah,
I
I don't
have in
think
my mind.
yeah, like yeah, I don't think it's a media thing. Like, from like how about from what I've known, women
Bruh,
have
that is
always
not what I have in my mind. What?
no,
How?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that women have always had a proclivity, to find one another attractive. I mean, it's hard not to find a woman attractive. So it would make sense that other women would also see that attraction. So I believe that women have always, had more of a tendency to dabble in I wouldn't just call it gay, but dabbling, feeling and touching each other more so than men would.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't look. I think for a man to be
I
homosexual,
wouldn't
they have to
blame
be.
media for that.
For a man to be homosexual, they have to be super committed to it. I feel that women are just like more
Right.
platonic with it and they don't take it as serious. Like, yeah, there's lesbians that are probably completely homosexual, but when it comes to women, they're way more likely to have like bi, at least exhibit bi behaviors. Whereas, like the average dude hasn't hooked up with another man. Whereas I feel like the average woman has hooked up with another woman at some point in time. And that's
Um,
Right.
why I feel like I could have a threesome with my partner with another woman, and I would never worry about the other woman stealing her from me because
Yeah,
I
the
don't really view
I
like bisexuality as like as solid, or I don't feel like women being homosexual or bisexual is as strong, or as the conviction is less than for a
Oh,
man
it's
to do
not.
that.
It's not. It's most
wait.
definitely more acceptable.
I
yeah,
feel
the
like a
bisexual thing
better.
is like the same way girls just do shit to do shit. They just do whatever just because it's on their mind, and they don't really want to do it necessarily, but they just do stuff to do it. And when it comes to the lesbian thing, the most of the time, the most committed they are to being a lesbian is when they know for a fact they can't get men and they're so in disharmony with it that they hate men. And then they just adopt this personality to kind of cope with the reality that they're in.
Yeah, I feel like a better weird way to word it is that a lot of women
Because you
tend.
look at lesbians, true lesbians, and they're always like the women that
Hold
would
on,
be
hold on,
the
hey,
absolute.
hold on, let her finish.
Who's talking?
A better way to word it
Oh, I
is
can't.
BB.
I got to come back.
Oh, okay.
um
All right.
is that women tend to perform lesbianism. It's not that they're actually lesbian. It's a performance. It's a it's an act. Just because society deems it as more acceptable and cool, so women just tend to like do it to look cool. It's
I
not that
agree.
they're actually lesbians.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Um, Go ahead. What? So you're saying something?
Yeah, I think when you look at lesbians, like the ones who are really dedicated to it, to where you really believe that they're not just trying to do it to look cool, they're usually the most like unwanted type of woman. Like they're actually pretty tomboyish. They have no affinity towards femininity. They like wear short hair. They're kind of overweight, and they try to like take on some butch look that never really plays off like as masculine as they want it to be. And then they can't be in harmony with men. They can't get men, and they cope by just like trying to convince themselves they do want the attention, they do want the validation from men, as they all do, but they know they can't get it, and it's like they try to do the opposite in order to like, oh, I never wanted you anyways, stay far away from me, when in reality you're just upset because you can't attract any man, let alone the men that you want to attract. Those are with the hardcore lesbians that have come up with this way of being, this personality.
It is funny that he mentioned that, because I was watching this video on Twitter earlier today with this super like overweight white woman. She had like purple hair, she was just, generally unattractive. And like she was lesbian. Um and it's like you can kind of tell or see why some of these people, it's not like they actually feel that way, but it's a coping mechanism for them. They don't want to feel embarrassed by being rejected or not wanted by men. So they put on this like performance that they're not attracted to men, that this is what they want to look like. Yeah.
Yep. Well, look, I think this was a good show. We got up to 160 people. We should keep it under 3 hours. We're at 2 hours 50 minutes right now. So, any closing comments? Feel free. But yeah, thanks for hosting, Jelani. You kept it alive at the start. Thanks for coming, DD, Dre, and
Yeah,
Dr.
sorry I
Rasta.
came late, man. I had seen you had the little open earlier, so I said you still got open when you come and hop in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, and thank you too, Didi, for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like I was really the star of the show this time. I feel like I was the reason that, but yeah.
We appreciate your
All
star
right.
power.
Yeah, well, good show. We should do it again. We got to figure out I'd like to do it twice a week. Maybe 3 times a week, but we have to figure out a time. But yeah,
Okay.
appreciate
Let's
people
try again
stopping.
on Wednesday.
All right, no worries. Peace out. Bye.